Both Coffey and Flint were 15 years old at the time of the crime. And a couple in Franklin County have pleaded guilty to manslaughter charges in the death of their 3-year-old son, Bentley. Prosecutors say that Brandy Burks and Dakota Fowler left their son in a vehicle overnight back in 2020, causing a hot car death. This case was going to go to trial this week. However, the guilty pleas have now been entered into court. Sentencing for the two should occur sometime in October of this year. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
You can't control interest rates, you can't control housing inventory, and you definitely can't control what the national news decides to panic about this week. But here's what you can control. You control your timing. You decide when it's the right time to buy, when it makes sense to refinance, and when to tap into your equity to renovate, invest, or consolidate debt and free up monthly cash flow. Real estate decisions aren't one size fits all, and they shouldn't be driven by headlines or social media noise. They should be based on your goals, your finances, and your life. The smartest moves happen when you focus on what you can control and work with someone who helps you see the full picture. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it's a good show today. Welcome into the program. And of course, Montgomery needs a new mayor. Eddie Bader will be stopping by. He's coming in on two wheels. Byron Sheehy already here. How you doing today, kind sir?
Doing well, man. It is a beautiful day.
It is absolutely beautiful. Other than the pollen trying to impregnate us, or at least our sinuses. Oh my goodness. But we got all sorts of stories today. Of course, J.D. Vance gave an interview last night about what happened in the room with the peace talks there in Pakistan, and China not pleased with the Hormuz blockade. Trump saying that he thinks maybe in the next few days, if not the next couple weeks, negotiations will be back on. Of course, the disgrace and resignation of Eric Swalwell, and I think losing his job, his political career, is the least of his problems from a new accuser, a new victim, allegedly, of Swalwell. Awful descriptions, and she did not look okay. She was presenting that. I just saw that press conference this morning, and I'm not accusing her of anything. I'm just saying that it seems like she has been through something deeply traumatic. Could get into that. Also, did you see the video of Vladimir ZELENSKYY revealing all their new robots, that they're now taking positions? It's kind of crazy. Like, I knew about the drones in the air, but they've now got all these automated robots, almost like Black Mirror robot dogs, are now taking positions against the Russians.
No, I've seen that episode, not a fan.
Yeah, so that's kind of crazy what's going on. Also, Tulsi Gabbard's office describes how the deep state helped manufacture a conspiracy against Trump, and this has to do with the impeachment of Trump over Ukraine. Remember the perfect phone call? Mm-hmm. And, I mean, Glenn Beck, actually, to his credit, was on this at the time while that was going down, about how deeply in bed the Obama, including under Biden, Obama administration was working with the players in Ukraine, the new government that they stood up in Ukraine, which is not shocking once you understand how the U.S. State Department works. Of course, you have 2028 hopefuls. AOC reportedly considered running for president. Kamala Harris is losing to Mark Cuban in early hypothetical polling for 2028. You got Coach Tuberville said it doesn't need to be skinny. He wants another big, beautiful bill to fund the Trump agenda. And of course, we've got some more Montgomery stories, an update on the surgeon who mistakenly removed somebody's liver. He's actually been indicted for the death of a Muscle Shoals man. But one thing I want to start with, because, music. Do you ever use on your music app the shuffle button?
Sometimes.
Like there's a regular playlist. Certain albums, they should not be shuffled. They need to be listened to how they're constructed and how they are curated. But often I'll find a playlist of stuff I just like in general, but want to mix up the ordering of it, just hit the shuffle button. Well, your shuffle button hasn't been random for over a decade. Apparently, Spotify killed true randomness in 2014. When Spotify first launched, shuffle worked like pulling songs out of a hat blindfolded. Every song had an equal chance of playing next. Pure math. But true randomness is sloppy. It plays the same artist 3 times in a row because probability doesn't care about your listening experience. Users complain nonstop, saying shuffle was broken. It was working perfectly. Human brains just aren't built to handle what real randomness looks like. Flip a coin 10 times and you'll probably get a streak of 4 or 5 heads that feels wrong, even though it's completely normal. Same with playlists. 2 Taylor Swift songs back to back felt like a glitch to people when it was just math doing its thing. So there's one engineer at Spotify at the time. He rewrote the entire shuffle in about 15 lines of code. His version spaces out songs from the same artist evenly across the playlist, then shifts them around slightly so it still feels unpredictable. Apple ran into the exact same problem years earlier. Steve Jobs stood on stage in 2005 and said, "We're making it less random to make it feel more random." As of late 2025, Spotify also tracks what you've played recently and pushes those songs further down in your queue. The shuffle button on your phone is closer to a personal DJ than a coin toss at this point. None of that covers the meme, though. You had a song in your head, you hit shuffle, and that exact song played. Felt like your phone could read your mind. Your brain is a pattern-finding machine, and it lies about its win rate. Psychologists have a name for it. Apophenia? Yeah. Or apophenia. Phenia. Fancy word that just means your brain sees connections in random noise. You hum a song, shuffle plays it, you remember that moment for weeks. But the 50 times shuffle played something else, your brain already threw those out. You might correctly guess the next song 8 or 10 times across a 100-song playlist you've been repeating for months. A 10% hit rate on familiar music is just math. Your brain keeps a highlight reel of the wins and quietly dumps the rest. Now, I kind of like it when a song I haven't heard in a while that I like just does kind of appear. Not like I'm trying to guess the next song.
I kind of thought it was based on the algorithm. I just kind of thought that they'd bury that artist and play a similar artist like them.
Right, yeah. I don't know exactly how, and I'm sure each app works a little differently. I tend to use YouTube Music, actually.
I do too.
I'm not using the Spotify. I'm not using the Pandora.
I'm not paying this service.
I'm not using iTunes or anything like that. But when the song you wanted actually does play, your brain treats it like a physical reward. Researchers at McGill University showed in 2011, published in the Nature Neuroscience journal, that hearing the best moments of your favorite music triggers a release of dopamine, the brain chemical that fires off when you eat something you love or win a bet. The dopamine actually starts pumping before the best part of the song even arrives. Your brain is predicting the payoff, and that prediction alone is the high. A team at the University of Barcelona confirmed this in a 2019 study using actual medication. People who took a drug that boosts dopamine said music felt better. People who took one that blocks it said music felt flat. The link between that brain chemical and music enjoyment is cause and effect, not a coincidence. Your phone runs a system built to feel like it knows you. Your brain runs a much older system that logs lucky guesses and deletes every miss. When those two collide, your brain's reward center fires a hit of the same chemical you'd get from a slot machine payout. Shuffle can't read your mind. Your brain chemistry just makes it feel like it can. I don't know. This guy, and I like this guy's X account, folks. It's Anish Munka. He does a lot of these like science breakdowns, fascinating stuff. But I think there are clearly our devices are listening to us.
You think you get diminished returns on like after your favorite song's played after a while?
Perhaps. Yeah, it depends on why you like it. Maybe it's a deep consolation and like it's something you really, really love and it never dries up.
Right.
But it could be there's like, oh, just a catchy song that you like for a week, if not maybe a few months, but then you're done with it after that completely because you're just over the catchiness of it. Yeah, I guess it depends on how it hits you and what it's actually tickling. Because I'd imagine you could take your favorite piece of food, like the favorite meal, and you eat it every night. Eventually, you're going to be hitting that dopamine switch too much, and it'll probably have diminishing returns.
Only get so much Prince before Prince loses the
And the thing with him is he's got such a library that it's like you can get tired of that, and then you go to like 20 years later, and it's a completely different thing. But it's still him.
So it may have been unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know, kind of give the runway a little bit more length and kind of takes care of itself.
Yeah, I don't know. I just found that interesting, especially the seeing of patterns there. Though I'm on this kick, I think we are inbuilt for patterns. And when he talks about cause and effect, it's like the chemicals and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but what's the cause of everything?
Well, that was a safety thing. I mean, pattern recognition. That's primal. That goes
Yeah,
way,
like the
way
lion in the bushes, the predator in the bushes sort of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think there's also more going on in terms of the patterns that we put together. Some are you're just putting them together, but I think you find an intelligibility to the world that isn't just your mind recognizing patterns. In fact, when you get to such complex patterns, like in, say, mathematics or advanced physics, it's not just a pattern. It's a particular pattern that seems inbuilt into existence itself. And so you start getting into, okay, that caused this caused that. Is there not a necessary cause underneath everything? Sorry for going into an argument for God's existence, but you know what? I want to follow up because I like this account a lot. Anish Munka. Here's another one he threw out here today. You pick up your phone about 96 times a day. Dadgum. When you really stop and think about it, like, yeah, 96 times a day.
I think that's a low number. If it's
for some folks.
If it's from the same study that I've seen, it's closer to 200 for the average person who, is on their phone for work.
And he says, he follows it up with this line, you don't decide to. And I think this is another point I would make to a lot of folks out there is you are not the master of your own house. And I don't mean your literal bricks and sticks of your home. I mean, your own mind, your own choices. Like, you have a role in it. You have free will. You have some way, but it's not like you're a god. In fact, you really are not the master of your own house and your own persona, because things can, trick you. So you pick up your phone 96 times a day and you don't decide to. A guy named Tristan Harris, who used to design products at Google, went on 60 Minutes and compared your phone to a slot machine. Same mechanics. You pull the lever, swipe down to refresh, and sometimes you get a reward like a text, a like, a funny video. Sometimes you don't. That's unpredictability is what keeps people feeding coins at casinos for hours. What this person did by switching to Japanese is something behavioral scientists called design friction. So a guy, he's responded to, translated from Korean into English, saying, a sweet tip for those studying Japanese. I've been practicing reading Japanese lately and heard that setting your phone's language to Japanese helps you encounter it in everyday life. So I changed my iPhone's language to Japanese, and after that, I saw an incredible effect. I started avoiding my phone like crazy, which led to digital detox, and my screen time dropped by 70%. That's crazy. Change your phone to a foreign language, and you start to immediately see the stuff that doesn't matter.
I want to be able to import like an ex-girlfriend's voice. That would really make me distance myself from the phone.
There you go. So what he did is behavioral scientists call it a design friction. You put a speed bump between you and the thing you're hooked on, and you end up doing it less. The closest lab version, researchers at the University of North Dakota took 161 college students and had 73 of them switch their phones to grayscale. That is black and white, no color, for about a week. Screen time dropped by 38 minutes a day. Social media and web browsing took the biggest hit because without color, your phone gets boring fast. Instagram in grayscale looks like a newspaper from 1952. Some students hated it so much, they switched back within days. When a separate experiment pitted grayscale against setting app time limits, grayscale won. Your brain doesn't negotiate with boring. It just quits.
So they went from 5 hours to 4 hours and 30 minutes.
Right. Well, and some folks just have no willpower, man. Or you got to want to. But anyway, the largest study I found was published in February 2025, a team from Texas, Georgetown, and the University of British Columbia gave nearly 500 people an app that blocked all internet on their phones for 2 weeks. Calls and text still work. 91% got better on at least one measure of well-being or focus. Depression symptoms improved more than what clinical trials typically see from antidepressants. Attention improved by the equivalent of being 10 years younger on a test that measures how well you can concentrate. Participants slept 18 more minutes a night and spent more time outside, talking to people face to face. Switching to Japanese is a harder version of grayscale. Grayscale makes your phone boring. A foreign language makes every screen a puzzle. Every button takes effort to decode, and that effort breaks the autopilot that drives most of your 96 daily phone pickups and checks. A 2023 study in Nature Scientific Reports found that just having your phone on the desk, screen down, not touching it, hurts your ability to focus. Your brain burns energy resisting the pull. A foreign language flips that, the phone pushes you away. The 70% drop in the original tweet is on the high end, but it lines up. Grayscale alone cuts 22 to 50 minutes per day, depending on the study. Researchers at McGill stacked friction strategies. Grayscale killed notifications, removed app icons, and got unhealthy phone habits back to normal for 6 weeks. 53% of Americans say they want less phone time. Tracking screen time alone doesn't work. A 2021 study confirmed that. You need friction. Switching your phone to a language you're learning might be the cleanest version of it. I have to switch it to Latin then. I think it might be a problem. Screen time drops and you pick up vocabulary. 2 problems, 1 trip to settings. I think that's, and again, I love this guy's account. He's putting these out every day. Anish Munka. Pretty cool stuff. And yeah, that one makes a lot of sense to me. Like how hooked out, and myself, everybody I know who has a smartphone, how addicted we are to these things.
I've taken the apps off. That's probably the most austerity I've placed on myself.
By the way, Eddie Bader's in denial. He texted me, "I'm the master of my own domain." Okay, big guy. Okay.
Don't text and drive, Eddie.
Yeah, don't text and drive, indeed. I'm the master of my own domain. I do what I want. This country started going to hell when they wouldn't let us drink a beer on our way home from work in the vehicle. That's something he'd probably say.
What's his age limit stuff?
But yeah, just some advice, like change up the habits. Well, I purposely have gotten to where I will leave the phone in the other room. I will leave the phone in the car if I'm going to church. I will just put it away. And it is nice to just get away from the thing and not worry at all.
You don't just let your battery just go dead as a doornail? Have that excuse?
No, I never let the battery die. No, I don't go that far with it.
I'm guilty of that.
Or you try to find, like, if I'm going to be addicted to the phone and picking it up, like, what am I using it for? So a lot of my screen time now is like the prayer app I have, and it's writing. So it's just a Google Doc. And I mostly try to stick to that and turn off a lot of notifications for all of the other apps and put all the like big, colorful, like draw your eye into one folder in the corner to where it's very tiny and it's very small. Now, I still get on there. I'll hop on X. I'll hop on the Book of Faces and stuff. I've gotten off Instagram for the most part.
I still get on Instagram a little bit. Majority of my time is probably spent on podcast, on YouTube. Just pull one of those up, let it play with the earbuds.
Oh, yeah. And it's so easy when you get into the video swiping thing, whether it's on YouTube or TikTok or X, they all have the function now where you just get sucked in because it knows you pretty well. It knows what rewards you like or what things disturb you, but still hook you at the end of the day.
Be present, like do it when you're in the car, alone, traveling, whatever. You can kind of detach, but put your phone down when you're at the table.
Though there are some I don't mind getting hooked on. Like my grandfather and I, we found a weird common thing we enjoy watching. There's a guy from Canada. I think it's called Drew Build Stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's just like an hour, 2-hour video. Like he built a tiny house or he built a igloo sauna. Like he just builds stuff, and it's just so soothing and relaxing to watch him do a build project.
Now, see, I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and start talking about all the things that we're trying to warn against, like the downhill shopping cart races, like just doom scrolling and finding awesome videos.
Yeah. And that's the problem. I don't know. I don't see this tech that is addictive and that everybody's hooked on now is like an inherent evil. I think there's a lot of good to it, and that comes out of it. It's just like most things we do as human beings, we do too much of it.
And we'll probably continue using this until something replaces it. You know, it's not like we stopped using phones less until we got computers, and then we incorporated the computer into the phone and got the best of both worlds.
Well, and then there are like straight up literal demon portals to hell on the internet as well. Like, it's so easy to just go down one of those rabbit holes. If you have no, like, you're not thinking about it and you're just like, let me go into the darkest corners. And you don't even have to go on the dark web or go to actual terrible sites yourself. Like, the amount of videos and documentaries and things on really just weird, depraved crap that has happened in internet culture over the last 20 years. It's
gotten so much worse over the past year with all the AI stuff too. Like,
yes,
when it's a human that's depraved, you can feel that pretty quickly in the video. But sometimes AI is sneaky in the way that they gobble some stuff together and present it.
Well, and I almost wonder, do you get recurring images or recurring themes out of the AI that's almost like a Ghost in the Protocol sort of thing? Well, for instance, the picture Trump posted of himself as a doctor. As a doctor healing people with pure light from his hands.
So he's a DR. I didn't know if it was PhD.
I think he's a DO, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, and he had the Red Cross medical red scarf, because that's what all doctors wear, a big red scarf that looks like Jesus with the Sacred Heart imagery. But no, that he was just a doctor.
You don't know that Jesus wore red scarf.
Don't you support the Red Cross? But in that one photo he posted, it was odd. Like the original photo people found, it's just soldiers kind of on the horizon riding on the clouds, coming through the sunlight. And you're like, well, it's a little over the top, but it's just soldiers. And the one he posted, the middle soldier was changed to where it had like 3 horns and these weird wings behind it. And you're like, what is that?
I did not pay attention to that detail.
I did. I caught it immediately. And I was like, what? No, here, I zoomed in on it. Like, yeah, what the heck is that? And so you go, well, it's just me as a doctor in the Red Cross. I was healing people, which I think is one of the funniest. You know, all the stuff around Trump, like everything to some folks, you love Trump or you hate Trump, every little issue is some stupid hill to die on because of the midterms. And it's like, maybe just take a step back and go, this is hilarious.
But it's also his style. I mean, going back to the turning up to 11. I mean, so long as we're talking good and bad, warts and all.
Yeah, Eddie just showed up, master of his own domain.
I am.
You are?
Yes.
Well, when you're wearing a shirt like that, yeah, you are.
It's just sea turtles.
What's wrong with my shirt?
You know, it's just that
It's turtles.
Yeah, the turtles are fine. I don't have a thing against turtles at all.
I love the top button.
I'm just
Okay, I gotta loosen this up.
yeah, it's just, you're right.
It gets a little white collar on
Exactly. Byron knew exactly what I was thinking. It's a short sleeve button up, and you had it buttoned to the top
Because
button.
it gets a little too white collar on me. I don't know why.
Let me
I don't
tell
like
you
to
how
show
I'm the
that.
master of my own
I am
domain over
master
here.
of my own domain. I'm not on here going, I'm so sorry, I'm addicted to the internet.
Oh no, I'm not addicted to the internet. I just send Joey videos at 2 in the morning.
Or 3 in the morning, yes. Or 4. Yes.
I
enjoy
need Tim for
videos.
the number of videos I send you. He gets the full barrage.
Oh yeah.
And what's sad is I think Joey opens up probably 2% of what I send
Yes,
him.
because I don't have time.
Right.
I'm in the middle of something.
We all had that friend that sends us way too many funny
But just
videos.
know this. That's how many times a day I think of Joey. And I'd like to make him
It's
smile.
hilarious. A lot of them are very funny. Some of them, especially on this kick I'm on lately, I'm like, really? I don't need that in my face.
I'm just showing you there's different places to go. Some are really bad, some are really good.
Some are hilarious. Anyway, welcome into the program, folks.
Hey, girls.
How y'all doing?
It's hot out there.
Get that closing done?
Yeah, I did.
Nicely done.
Yes, it was great. First time home buyers. And then when they went over there, they couldn't remember, neither could I, the code to the door to get it. You know, because you trade keys, but everything is push button nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
So I had to go back and spend about 30 minutes trying to figure out how to get it in. But
Gotta love how the smart home strategies make you feel real
yeah,
dumb.
they really do. They really do.
I mean, if paperwork was signed, I'd be out. I'm out. That's on y'all.
Exactly.
Good luck.
That's how some realtors are. I like to think I'm better than that.
So you can tell folks, I'm like, we got new stuff and we can get into the new stuff, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, get another jet ski. So now we got enough for everybody.
You're going to have 4 jet skis now. Now,
Just
3 of
say
them are
another. We don't
spoken
have
for.
to say how many total.
You're going to get 10 jet skis now.
He's going to have a fleet.
I had a fleet not too long ago, but this one here's somebody put it on Marketplace for like $1,000.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
not
got
bad.
speakers and it's basically a stereo, so we can have.
Now,
a
is that
stereo
going to be
on
an
water.
extra one? Or is that going to be yours now?
No, I'll probably Addison or somebody ride it.
Okay.
Or put it down in the middle of the lake, and we'll let everybody know what we want to
Let
listen
the
to.
little one drive the big stereo system.
Joey, will you make us a promise if you do anything with this from now and through late season that it turns into full-on mullet?
Man,
I
you
don't
can
know
rock
about
a
the
mullet
mullet.
like
Could you?
nobody's business.
I don't
Dude,
know
I'll go
about the
mullet if you will.
man. I'm not
Two
doing
more
a
weeks,
mullet.
and I'm where you are.
I'm not. I don't,
You sure?
2 more weeks? Okay.
Dude, look at this.
Do it for
Look at
$250, man. Do it for America, Joey.
I ain't doing a mullet, guys. I mean, if I could grow mutton chops,
You
perhaps. You
What's
think I
holding you
could?
back?
Yeah, it doesn't come in that thick up here.
You got to shave a little more often. Put some fertilizer on it. that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
I think you're onto something there. Can we do one news item though?
You promise. Pants on.
Seriously, it's all those clips you send me. It gets those Freudian. I'm not the master of my own domain, apparently. But this is from 1819. Half of Montgomery's $243,530 payment to Louisiana private security company.
Yeah.
Half of that $243,000 went to the CEO's LLC, former Shreveport mayor's brother. Wow.
And are we surprised in the least bit?
The city has issued a notice of intent to terminate the contract and recently issued a request for proposals seeking private traffic response services.
How about a refund?
How about some charges?
Well, just
Reverse
also
the charges.
clawing that back is probably going to end up more in court costs. But like,
I don't care.
no. How about like who did this?
Yeah, there you go.
That's when I
Either
say
you pay
charges.
it back or you fire it.
But what if it was like somebody at the behest of like, say, the mayor's office?
Then you don't. Okay, that's fine. Who are you ratting out? Who are you ratting out? Or are you taking the hit? Because somebody's getting fired.
You know
today.
there's a kickback, man. Come on.
You know there is, but it's that's what kills me about the separation between the normal business world and this world.
Yep. So essentially, $243,000 is not coming back, just out the door.
That's no, I cannot. I refuse to accept that.
That's crazy.
$243,000.
So we
Who
paid
signed off
people
on this?
$243,000 for what?
Yeah, who cut the check? Let's start with that person. Somebody told that person to cut the check. Whose signature is on the check? But nothing will ever happen.
Yeah, what hurdles did it clear?
It was a sole source process, was not bid out.
It was a scam from the get-go.
Yeah.
Just like much of it is.
It would have had civilian investigators would write up accident reports for minor accidents and handle light traffic duties.
So for
But they had never done it in any other city before.
For $240,000, I'm going to dream up of a company, Joey, and you give me $240,000. I'm going to give it to you on paper of how we're going to do it. We're just never going to do it, but we still get paid that $240,000, and that's exactly what happened. And I don't think nothing would have came of this had not somebody started asking questions.
I bet you could go through some campaign finance documents and
Oh,
find some
1,000% you
feathers
could.
there.
1,000%, but we won't.
Crazy.
We won't.
After looking at this, it's one example after the other with this place.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm not even in like an ideal world. I've always thought, why not have like cops that specialize? Like guys that just do traffic. Or guys that just, like, that doesn't seem that crazy to me.
No,
like you
I-
have like a specialization.
I don't
and
even
you're
know
really good at
places
it.
that's the
do
norm. Yeah,
political
traffic
crime.
cop.
Yeah. Yeah, we should just have cops for political crime. I like that.
Boy, that'd be a busy cop.
But we can't even do this right. And now we're just going to go back to just a bid process while they sit there and talk about progress.
Joey, if you,
After the Speaker of the House banjo over there, Speaker Ledbetter's like, well, we just ran out of time.
No, that's
Just
a
happened to run out of time. Just
that's a lie.
miserable. You know, you cut a deal because it's a small town mentality in the capital city.
Yeah.
We can't force their hand. You know, we'll keep paying for Aaliyah and for, the sheriff's office to keep helping out the whole city and stuff. Where are the results? Anyway, it's a beautiful day. Thank God for another beautiful day. And Montgomery does need a new mayor. Now, will somebody step up? I don't know. I haven't really heard.
Hey, so the jet skis, you want to bring them down? We can ride them down the river.
I don't know if we should in that river.
Really?
Yeah, man. You talk about the foam being toxic.
You gonna have on a waterproof vest or bulletproof vest?
No, you guys ain't ever been swimming in the river? What's wrong with you? No wonder y'all get sick at the drop of a hat.
No, I don't get sick at the drop of a hat. I've been healthy as a horse for
Since you
3 years.
detox.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he sent me a thing. It was actually not just some lady with her things out, but it was like he sent me a thing that was actually useful.
Thank you.
Where the people are now requesting non-vaxxed blood.
Yes.
And so it's like you can sell your blood at a premium
At a
because you never got the
premium, baby.
vax.
93 over here.
Master of his own domain, he
93
says.
years old?
No, 93 years of, well, this many years of no vaccines. Other drugs, but no vaccines. It's pretty good. I think you ought to hook me up to a machine, man. Let's make some cash.
Reminds me of a Ren and Stimpy episode. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They are ready to help you out with any and all of your plumbing needs. Could be a big problem, like a big water leak. Inside or outside the home, they can solve it without tearing out a bunch and create an even bigger problem. Like tearing out a bunch of drywall, digging up a huge hole in your yard to find the leak. They can find it with precision and expertise and fix it just like that. Of course, it could be a smaller problem that you just can't fix, like a drippy faucet.
A hot water heater, man.
Oh,
I had a
yeah.
friend of mine had to replace one the other day up in his attic.
Yeah.
Spent 4 days replacing it. I said, dude, you could have spent 10 minutes on a phone call.
279-8919.
Yep.
You should go ahead and save their number. Could be your toilet's not working. Could be you just want to upgrade to a tankless water heater system or install a new like garbage disposal.
Saving money.
Y'all check them out today. Again, save Cole Plumbing's number 279-8919, or you can always go to coleplumbing.com, make an appointment there, learn more about what they have to offer. When you want to, when you have trouble with your bowl, excuse me, I'm mixing up my my ads. Dadgum. When you have trouble with your bowl.
Call on Cole, Joey.
I'm sorry, James. Cole Plumbing, though. Great folks. Save that number, 279-8919. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you could help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that. Because each year, thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional. like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River Region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Hi, everybody. Our extended string of warm, dry, storm-free days continues. It feels more like the month of May. Mostly sunny today with a high temperature up to about 88. Tonight's low in the upper 50s. More sunshine Wednesday, Thursday with highs in the upper 80s both days. And I think we could be near 90 by Friday. That would tease a record. And close to record territory on Saturday with 91. Fingers crossed that we'll see some showers and storms by, let's say, late Saturday night. It's possible. We desperately need some rain. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate for your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Now, it could be America's 250th birthday is going to go off with a bang, but not necessarily in a good way. This just came in from the New York Toast.
Okay.
Will Yellowstone erupt, or are we blowing things out of proportion? We may have underestimated Yellowstone's potential to blow its stack in the future. China sent some Chinese scientists. But Chinese scientists have made a discovery finding regarding the mechanism behind the caldera's eruption, sparking concerns that it could belch lava sooner than we hoped for an explosive study in the journal Science. So it's not just like Bob's Bait and Tackle went out to Yellowstone because, man, it looks like it's going to go. It's in the journal called Science, so it must be correct.
So we're going from 250,000 years to 230,000 years?
Dude, give the thing some Pepsid or something to control its antacid. It'll be fine.
And you think you're the master of your own domain.
I know I am. That's all that thing needs. Back a dump truck load of Tums into it. You'll be fine.
Please don't say the word dump truck in front of me. Contrary to prior scholarship, which suggested the magma originates in large, deep chambers, the new study suggested that it could be lurking just below Earth's surface.
I've been there. It's not that impressive.
The team from the Institute of Geology and Geophysics of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, IGGCAS, which is, it kind of defeats Like, just say their name.
Right.
If the acronym's that long.
Right.
If the acronym's that long.
You were talking about it earlier on the smartphones.
But this Institute of Geology from China or whatever had set out to study the engine behind supervolcanoes, volcanic eruptions that eject over 230 cubic miles of magma, rock, and ash. Ranking among the most cataclysmic geological events on Earth, these eruptions can have devastating effects on both the environment and human civilization alike. Yeah, but who cares about human civilization? What about the environment? Like, I don't think it affects the environment actually that much. It changes the environment. But I think the environment's like, cool, we're changing.
All those poor billionaires in their fallout shelters.
The reason we care about the environment is because it affects human beings, right? I thought, perhaps.
Sure.
Anyway, the Yellowstone supervolcano, which lies underneath a 30 by 45 mile Yellowstone caldera, has produced 3 such super eruptions in the past 2.1 million years. If one were to occur today, it could create worldwide impacts, including massive pyroclastic flows, feet of toxic ash inundating the Midwest, and agricultural ruin with a projected $3 trillion in damages and millions of lives threatened. To shed light on the mechanism behind magma generation in supervolcanoes, the team had devised a comprehensive 3-dimensional model of Western North America. You think it's funny? It's
Yeah,
not,
you
no
ever see
laughing
that
now.
show Preppers? There's a New York fireman, this black guy, cool as he can be.
We won't ever feel it, man.
That's the thing he was worried about, is a super volcano under Yellowstone.
This facsimile simulated the present-day dynamics of both the lithosphere, the cold outermost layer of the Earth, and the the astrosphere.
Oh no, Joey, the astrosphere is coming.
Asthenosphere, the hot and slow-flowing ductile mantle underneath that drives volcanic eruptions. Prior scholarship suggested that supervolcanoes harbored large magma changes that will amass molten rock until the pressure grew to powerful and too powerful and prompts an eruption. However, these reservoirs were conspicuously absent from the large supervolcanoes. Well, damn. However, this latest model, the team discovered using that latest model that the eruption is generated via a much shallower source, large sprawling zones of partially molten rock called magma mush.
Magma mush?
That's the scientific name. Magma mush system that permeate much of the Earth's lithosphere. Magma originates in the upper asthenosphere and ascends into the outer layer where it mixes with surrounding solid rocks to form a viscous magma mush. However, the mechanism behind how it melts is, in the first place, remains unclear. So we know it's there. The magma mush is there. We don't know how that happens.
Yeah, I do.
And you think you're the master of your
I
own
know exactly how
domain.
that happens. You get a buildup, just like your tummy. You get a buildup of gas. It's got to go one way or the other.
He's had a buildup of magma before.
Yeah, you guys never had that?
It always
Just
comes
another
back to
Tuesday.
this guy.
Chili cheese fries takes care of that for you.
All the while, a hot rock is steadily flowing eastward beneath the caldera, ripping apart the lithosphere's hard rock and forging a channel through which the molten rock can rise and fill the volcano's mush reservoir with molten rock. This means that a supervolcano can replenish its magma supply via tectonic activity alone, sans the need for some deep lava chamber. Thankfully, Yellowstone isn't slated to blow its top anytime soon. Based on the prior 3 eruptions, there has been an average of around 725,000 years between events, meaning we're technically 100,000 years to go before the next one. And as the USGS experts pointed out, this is based on the average of just 2 time intervals between the eruptions, which is meaningless. Wait. Couldn't that cut the other direction?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That it actually is not on a regular eruption pattern, but it could be like tomorrow?
Well, the 100K or so could be within the range. Yeah. It could be tomorrow.
See, why not?
In the geographical sense.
Plus, even if the caldera does go off again, it might not even be large, as the most recent volcanic eruption at Yellowstone was a lava flow that occurred 70,000 years ago. Yellowstone is not overdue for an eruption. The scientists, experts, and for the government declared volcanoes do not work in predictable ways, and their eruptions do not follow predictable schedules. You're talking across purposes. You're like, how Yellowstone's not overdue for an eruption.
It is overdue.
they don't work in predictable ways. So shut up with your predictions.
Okay, it's kind of like when your wife is mad. Okay, she's going to be mad at you. It's not really predictable. Sometimes you can see it coming, but sometimes it's out of nowhere.
I thought it was pretty regular, like every.
Oh, that's the guaranteed one, but the surprise ones come up on the regular.
Next time that happens, blame it on tectonic activity and MAGA mush.
No, what
Excuse
happens
me,
is
magma mush.
sometimes she eats too much cheese before she goes to bed. And she has bad dreams, and she wakes up and she feels like, "Hey, you did something in my dream last night, and I'm mad about it."
I'm sure that's where all
Too
your
much
problems
cheese.
originate from.
What kind of cheese?
She's like a Gouda kind of girl.
Gouda's all right, man.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good. I like sharp cheddar.
Yeah, just melted. I'm a melted cheese
Both
guy.
are good. Yeah. You like queso?
Yes.
Yeah.
I could drink the queso.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Remember when there were a bunch of Mexican places raided? And here in deep red Alabama, where everybody voted for deportations, all of a sudden folks started calling up about their queso?
Yeah.
Just not thinking through the ramifications of their voting pattern?
It slows down with Tumpka. We got 8 of them. 8 Mexican restaurants. Looking for a 9th.
Anyway, thank you to Mark Cumby for sending me that on the Yellowstone supervolcano and the China scientists.
There's a doomsday show, that doomsday prepper guy out of New York, black guy, fireman. He seemed incredibly normal until he goes, well, it's that super volcano under Yellowstone that I'm worried about. You go, wait,
Well,
what?
maybe he's right.
And he's got maps, he's got charts, he's got escape plans, he's got everything.
No, and it's kind of cool that
plans.
Yeah, they're right.
It's kind of cool instead of like a deep lava like cavern, like no, it's just flowing, and the super volcanoes take that.
Like the tide coming in and out.
That's interesting. You're interesting. Anyway,
your belly don't get like that sometimes.
Not
can't
of
relate
late.
that
You
to
ever
your
heard of
belly?
probiotics?
Yeah, but
Prebiotics?
Pre, yeah.
Pre and pro? You ever heard of eating something that might be good for you?
Like, give me an example.
Like yogurt?
Oh, gross.
You don't like yogurt?
No, man. Mm-mm.
All right.
No, that's kind of no.
Womanly? Is that where you're going to go with?
We'll go womanly. That'd be the nice way of putting it. But yeah. You
Just
like
saying.
a lot of yogurt, do you, Joe?
Not a lot.
You a parfait?
There
kind of
is
guy?
such a thing as too much yogurt.
Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. There's a whole genre on that.
This part of the program brought to you strangely by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help you fellas out if you, just don't feel like a man anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, you're feeling worn out, kaput. As soon as you wake up, you're like, it's like I didn't even sleep. Like you laid your head down on the pillow for 8 hours, but it doesn't seem like you got anywhere with that sleep. You're starting to see your waistline creep as well. And it's really, your energy is off across the board. Your confidence is shot across the board, including being shot, no confidence in the bedroom. You're having performance issues. But this is why I've been telling folks, men in particular, about Montgomery Men's Health for years. It's Montgomery Men's Health, powered by Men's Pro. And what I personally like about them is they've been doing this for years. It's not just one of these fly-by-night places or like a chatbot online pill place. You can actually sit down, work with their urologist and their providers. They run labs, build a plan around you. It's not some one-size-fits-all deal. It will be bespoke. It'll be tailored to you. They treat things like low testosterone, ED, helping you with weight loss, and they're even in the peptide game, so like NAD plus and some more.
That's right.
And the results speak for themselves. Over 92% of men respond to treatment, and most guys say they wish they had come in sooner.
Oh, I bet.
And right now, your lab panel and consultation is just $99. So call them up today. Make an appointment today. Don't procrastinate, gentlemen. Don't wait. 334-440-3663 is that number. That's 440-3663. Or you can always go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Montgomery Men's Health, for every man and every season of life.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Hi, this is Carol Kennedy with Camo Country, and we've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for many years, and we appreciate Blue Water Broadcasting helping promote Camo Country.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Short segment here, and well, this is I mentioned it in passing yesterday on Andrew Huberman's podcast.
Yes,
but there's a new study, like detailed study about sperm and cannabis.
I saw this.
And, Huberman says if you successfully had a kid who's fine and you smoke a lot of weed, God love you. Like, you're cool. But
I got the whole 1980s goes against every theory this man just put out.
Well, let's listen into the expert he brought on, talking about how it can affect some men.
All cannabis use is hugely detrimental to sperm, for sure, across the board, right? Both production, the quantity of sperm, testosterone production, also the quality of the sperm, specifically the DNA fragmentation inside the head of the sperm, to the degree that female partners who conceive from a male partner who's using cannabis have much higher miscarriage rates than partners who do not utilize cannabis. And I will say clinically in the IVF lab, when I see embryos halt at that male developmental stage on day 3, we say, oh, here's a young couple, they've got no embryos and we were expecting them to have some. When we go back 9 out of 10 times, he is using cannabis that he previously denied. So it is one of the most movable factors right now in this country for improving, fertility outcomes.
So if you're having trouble conceiving, having a kid, and maybe you're smoking the weed, perhaps, don't.
Okay. During the 80s.
He seems so bothered by that.
Because it's just a fabricated BS story from anti-pot world, which is fine with that.
But Andrew Huberman's anti-pot world?
He's entertaining it. Dude.
Or maybe this is a lady who works at an IVF clinic. They're like,
she's a teetotaler.
Your sperm has its DNA fragmented. I'm not you in particular. I'm just saying.
I feel like there would be evidence on some birth rates somewhere.
Dude, the 80s. Nancy Reagan was telling us, quit having sex with each other. Y'all are causing too many young pregnancies. What do you think we were doing besides having sex? Smoking weed.
Boston University tracked 1,535 couples trying to have a baby. Men who smoked weed once a week or more doubled their partner's miscarriage risk. The numbers held up even when the woman herself never touched it. And the miscarriages clustered in the first 8 weeks, right when the father's damaged DNA would be doing the most harm.
I can't argue against that. I have no idea.
Are they claiming correlation or causation?
No, like causation. They're saying they know for a fact that THC can, it affects the DNA. You actually have cannabis THC receptors in your sperm.
What if both of them are smoking the weed?
Well, that adds another complication. I'm just saying. Why do you feel so threatened? You trying to have a baby?
No, I can have a baby from here. It ain't no problem for me to get somebody pregnant. Lord, I'm a baiter.
Yeah, you are.
I
don't know, man.
That's not an issue at all.
Mr. Baiter, master of his own domain.
That's not an issue at all in our world. But I just think of all the partying that was done. My generation.
The weed has gotten stronger, man. No,
I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that. I'm not arguing with that.
Like, once the fetus is developed, like, it seems like the baby wouldn't even be formed. If it was going to be that detrimental, it would stop the whole process. That's the hard part to kind of square.
Well, no, for the first 3 days, an embryo runs entirely on the mother's DNA. Day 3, the father's genes switch on. If those genes carry cannabis damage, the embryo just stops growing. Fertility doctors see this happen in their labs. Embryos that fertilize fine and looked healthy on day 2 go completely still by day 5.
They just make it sound like if you smoke pot, you're not going to have kids. And I know that's what they're trying to do. When the real message is, heck, we don't know. We're just putting this out. We're taking a line out of Fauci stuff.
Actually, I think it could be if people really are having trouble, like maybe
Well, if
remove
you're
the
having trouble having
factors.
kids, you need to shut everything down except have the kids.
Right.
But I don't know of a stoner out there that's like, hey, I ain't going to worry about getting her pregnant because I'm smoking pot now. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
that way.
Andrew Huberman said, if he conceived healthy children while using cannabis, then congratulations. The family's a blessing. The information below is for those having trouble conceiving or who have had miscarriages and for anyone wishing to maximize health variables.
Well,
You do you, no pun intended.
He should lead with that.
That's so defensive. Anyway.
He's a beta dog.
Like he's ready to label him a new Dr. Fauci and all
I'm
that.
sick of all that crap. I get it. You're anti-weed. Go with it. Just go with that. Okay.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy or sell property or house here in Montgomery and surrounding areas. Bo's been working in the River Region real estate market for about half a century now. And not only at the Goodson Group can they help you with buying and selling property, they can also manage property. They have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. So if you're interested and want to learn more, you can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or just give them a call, 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Oh, yeah! Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsors here.
Some vodka.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The announced resignation of 2 members of Congress this week could affect the balance of power in the House of Representatives. California Democrat Eric Swalwell said he will leave Congress after facing sexual misconduct allegations. Short time later, last night, Republican Tony Gonzalez of Texas announced his retirement. That's after recently admitting to an affair with a staff member who later died by suicide. There is a razor-thin GOP margin in the House right now. The timing of these departures could impact that in either direction. The International Monetary Fund expecting the global economy to grow this year, but not as much as it was expecting before the war in Iran. The IMF has downgraded its forecast for global growth to 3.1% in 2026 from the 3.3% it had been predicting back in January. This is SRN News.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline, 800-305-6762. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-305-6762 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. That's 800-305-6762 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-305-6762.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather. Hi, everybody. Our extended string of warm, dry, storm-free days continues. It feels more like the month of May. Mostly sunny today with a high temperature up to about 88. Tonight's low in the upper 50s. More sunshine Wednesday, Thursday with highs in the upper 80s both days. And I think we could be near 90 by Friday. That would tease a record. And close to record territory on Saturday with 91. Fingers crossed that we'll see some showers and storms by, let's say, late Saturday night. It's possible. We desperately need some rain. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Montgomery police have made an arrest in connection with a Saturday evening shooting that left a man in critical condition. Lavarius Ferguson is charged with first-degree assault in the shooting that occurred in the 4000 block of Rosa Parks Avenue. No update has been given on the victim's condition. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of a mobile home fire at Sunshine Village. Montgomery Fire Rescue units responded to the blaze just after 5 p.m. Sunday afternoon, where heavy smoke and flames engulfed the mobile home. An additional pumper truck had to be called in before the fire at the trailer and several vehicles could be brought under control. Police continue to investigate a Sunday night shooting near downtown Wetumpka. The incident happened around 9 p.m. in the 200 block of South Shelby Street, where a residence was fired into numerous times. Police recovered over a dozen shell casings at the scene. Investigators believe there were more than 2 shooters. One person inside the home was wounded. Condition remains unknown. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
If you've ever wanted to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself, and didn't know where to start, Janney King Gulf Coast has already built a foundation for you. With guaranteed initial customers, hands-on training, and ongoing local support, you'll never feel like you're doing it alone, because you won't be. For over 35 years, we've helped people turn their dreams into real successful businesses. Take the next step. Discover a business built for you at JaneyKingCleans.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Oh, girl, baby girl. Oh, really? Don't even play.
Shut up, silly woman. You are a rude, terrible person.
This is the Trump country. We live in the Southeast. We drink sweet tea. We don't drink socialist Kool-Aid.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour of the program. Another beautiful day. And 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. And Soldier Boy's been patient. Let's talk to him.
What up, Soldier Boy?
Well, Patience is my middle name.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Soldier P.
I thought your middle name was Prudence, like the Beatles song.
Miss Prudence?
No,
Dear Prudence.
Yeah, something like that.
Miss
yeah.
Prudence.
Hey, I guess Troy is not here today, correct?
No, he's here usually on Mondays and Fridays.
Oh, okay.
He's home cleaning his gun.
I love it. I love having somebody on your show that's had some boots on the ground experience when he talks about military. But here's what I think Mr. Trump is not getting the best advice when it comes to this war going on right now.
Who do you think's advising him in, like, reasons? Yes.
Oh, I'm sure people he thinks who got experience in advisors and everything. I bet you 3/4 of the people that are advising him about military have never been on the ground. Thank God he's got your Secretary of War, who's actually had boots on the ground and knows what he's talking about because he's actually had boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Here's for example, okay? Here's what we need to do. He's trying to fight a war, a political war. He's not trying to fight a fight, Pete. I'm going to call the secretary since I'm retired. I can call Secretary of War Pete. trying to fight a war that's political in the sense that he wants the least amount of body count, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which is fair. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's like a fire department, the police department, and the military. We know, both men and women know what we signed up for, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You agree with that?
Yes.
Okay? We know the risk. If we wanted to be a safer risk, I'd work at a self-checkout at Walmart.
And especially those that are in the 82nd Airborne or in the one of these Marine amphibious units or the Army Rangers, and
Exactly. And, and I said I signed up for the Air Force, did 24 years, but you know why? Eddie? Because I'm a lover, not a fighter. Okay.
There you go.
Exactly. Everybody has their own little niche, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Let me tell you what happened in the Green Zone in Baghdad. We had a mortar shell flies over the T-wall and hits the right side of our land shop. Your land shop local area network. You know what that is, right?
Yes.
Probably do. Okay. And cinder blocks fall down. Well, you know what Soldier Boy does, don't you? Being the lover that he is, okay, he gets under that concrete desk. That cinder block dust is flying everywhere, and he's knocking knees left and right because this is not what he signed up for, okay? Yeah. And then an Army guy next to me, and guess what he kept on doing? He kept on typing.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even twit because that's the way they're trained and that's the way they're raised, and that's what they,
Just another day, another thing.
Favorite person.
Yeah.
Exactly. My favorite is a Marine. God bless. I love those people, men and women of the Marines. I'm telling you.
Well, I think Trump's coming from on this, though, man, is like he doesn't want to get into a long, protracted thing. That's why they were so heavy on the blast. And if you talk about, like, saying with men actually taking Karg Island, but it's not just Karg Island, there are multiple other small islands. I think he's very frustrated at this point that he knew going into this, the Strait of Hormuz would be probably the biggest sticking point. That's why he's moved to the economic warfare, putting the pressure not just on the Iranians, but on like China and India and others with this blockade. And it looks like Iran offered to halt uranium enrichment for 5 years. U.S. said, nah, we have to do at least 20. And in a way, I think it was a good first meeting because the lack of trust at that high a level for over nearly 50 years. And it looks like you're going to get a second round of peace talks could begin in days. So we'll see.
Well, let me tell you something, Joe. So let me have. So as that cinder block came out, all that dust was flying everywhere. There was a Marine next to me.
Mm-hmm.
First time I've ever actually worked closely with a Marine, and he's the greatest Polak I've ever known. Lance Corporal Tradowski.
Mm-hmm.
What a name is that? I'll never forget that.
Good name.
You know what he did when it happened? He grabbed his M1 so fast, and he put one in the chamber. And I said, Tradowski, where are you going? He says, I ain't in here to type no damn keyboard. I'm over here to kill ragheads.
Wow.
Now, that's what they're training for. They're
yes.
I don't. That's what exactly. I'm hiding under the desk. The Army guy's still typing, and the Marine's ready to go out and kill somebody. And that's just different. You don't want a soldier boy to turn the lights out and try to break down a weapon and put it back together because it ain't going to happen. I can hardly put it back together as it is. I'm visual. But I think he should have taken that island.
Yeah.
We got people. I mean, sure, there's going to be some people that are going to get wounded. Sure, the numbers are going to go up. But I tell you one thing: if you're one of those Iranians, you'd be stupid because these people are born killers. Okay.
Sure, but I don't think that's what you're hammering at, and I think you're correct on this. But what you're hammering at, I don't think is what's playing into Trump's decision making. I don't think Trump lacks the stomach or the guts to make a call like that. I think he's trying to think through, though, like what happens next after you take the island, and he's instead trying a different route where it's putting pressure on the whole world instead.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If he takes that island, does he not put a choke on their revenue instantly?
It does, but he's accomplishing the same thing with the blockade.
Yep.
Yeah, because all you got to do is send a couple steel units in there and land there, and then let the Marines come in behind them and occupy and take care of the rest of the dirty crap and everything. And sure, I guarantee there's going to be a lot more people that are hurt or injured or killed on the other side than the Marines because these people they're a fine turn. I went with them when they went to Fallujah on the second time they went in there. And these guys, 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and they're trained. They're trained. You're dealing with people that are not trained to be behind keyboards. I mean, he got so excited about grabbing his weapon and running out the door. I just think Mr. Trump, I kind of somewhat agree with you, and I see your point there. He's trying to think it all the way through and everything. But I guarantee it, they would slam him in a heartbeat if there's a high body count.
Oh, absolutely. You're right about that, too. There is political ramifications. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the call as always. Thanks, dude.
Right,
See, so we
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Josh Ryder, the true artist over there at Dylan Rings.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at an awesome video. Let me share that to my Facebook page. Y'all can go check it out on my page.
Is he doing some welding over there?
No, what he's doing is he's sizing a diamond solitaire ring. Gave it a full hand polish to bring back the bright mirror-like shine. Every angle, every surface, and around the prongs, all done carefully by hand on a polishing wheel. In fact, that's what I'm watching. He is using a polishing wheel that is running,
Nice.
and he is very carefully by hand, then polishing the interior of it. There's, I guess, a little thing sticking out where you put the ring on top of it, like you're putting it around a finger.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. So you're polishing both the inside, outside. And he says there's something really satisfying about taking a ring that's been through the sizing process and transforming it into a piece that looks brand new again. I believe it. Yeah, like where it's kind of looks rough around the edges because you had to, add that extra material or just work with the material, and then to get it polished and shining like brand new. This is the kind of detail they can offer there at Dylan Rings. Custom sizing and professional finishing. It's a ring that truly is ready to wear for a lifetime. And in fact, I'm working on a project. Again, I'm the difficult one, and Josh is doing awesome work with this custom piece I'm getting done. And just from working with him on a first-hand basis, he's so easy to work with. And it's pretty ingenious, the things he can come up with. So if you're looking for that custom work, get by Dylan Rings, 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell him that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you. We'll tell you a little more about Dylan Rings coming up later in the program. So sticking to the health thing.
Yeah.
I'm getting off the whole weed and sperm thing. It seemed to upset you.
I'm good.
No,
Took a break. We're good now.
No, don't do the passive aggressive. I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I'm just fine. Mm-hmm. No, don't do that with me. I'm not married. I'm not even engaged. We're just friends.
Okay.
Anyway, but on the health thing, it's been a second since we played some Secretary Bobby Kennedy.
What's he been up to?
Yeah, RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Well, he apparently created this teaching kitchen collaborative.
I seen him working out the other day. That was impressive.
Or something like that. By the way, I love the Tim Dillon bit where he's like, he has dinner with Bobby Kennedy Jr. and with Cheryl.
Yeah.
Cheryl Hines, I think. Yeah. And Cheryl's just lovely, this effusive, like socialite,
I love
lovely.
Cheryl.
And then Tim Dillon's read is like, then Bobby Kennedy's like, Cheryl, there's a bomb in the car. Cheryl. Like he's just an intense, like he's been through so much stuff in his life. Cheryl. Anyway, here is what they've been up to. Apparently, this is members of the Teaching Kitchen Collaborative joined Bobby Kennedy for a cooking demo that gave medical students hands-on experience prepping meals that heal.
Oh, meals that heal. Okay.
Let's listen into the presentation.
Hi, I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS secretary. 70% of the calories that Americans eat are now ultra-processed foods. And that's one of the primary reasons we're the sickest country on earth. We need to change our dietary culture. The first step in doing that was changing the food pyramid and the dietary guidelines, which is now mission accomplished. One of the biggest impediments is that people worry that good food is more expensive. It is not. If you cook at home, you can cook much less expensively and you can have the finest food. And these ladies have devoted their lives and their careers.
But there's so many Americans right now, like, if they even see this in their algorithm, because you better believe the folks that probably need this sort of advice the most, this is not in their algorithm.
Didn't come through mine, Joey. Although a McDonald's commercial did come through.
How'd you like Trump yesterday after ripping on the Pope and after starting the blockade of Hormuz? Like, I'm a little hungry. Let's order DoorDash. I'm going to get a filet of fish.
I saw the girl got like $4,000.
You only got one?
No,
he got a whole bag of them.
There was a couple bags, yeah.
Yeah, JD wanted the double.
You know you wanted the double.
You wanted the quadruple quarter pounder. You're looking a little skinny, JD. Yeah. Yeah, anyway. And I wasn't Jesus in that photo. I was a doctor. It's just like, what a day. What a day.
Yeah.
So RFK Jr. is teaching people to cook healthy food. I'm ordering DoorDash. Anyway, let's keep listening.
If you're a DoorDash driver, though, and it says Pennsylvania Avenue, it's like, this is real deal?
I don't know. They probably had to do some special thing, obviously, and pick the driver and like.
You noticed it was a woman.
Yeah, it was like a grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt it was that way on purpose.
And you've saved $11,000 on tips. That's what Trump said to her. I'm like, I don't know if it's 11 grand.
It's such a setup.
Wow, thank you. Oh, Mickey D's. I love McDonald's. I know everything about McDonald's. No, sir, why did you post a picture of yourself as Jesus Christ? I wasn't. I was a doctor.
I'm a doctor.
And only the fake news media could come up with something like that. And by the way, I only bring this up because it's hilarious. What a day yesterday. You got all these Catholics getting real serious about it, and like the Italian prime minister, Giorgio Meloni's like, I don't like it.
Got a little excited.
Yeah, I was like, don't you attack the Pope. And
he's our Pope, though.
But then you had a lot of folks that are like ride or die, like cat turd with Trump, just like, he was a doctor in that photo. Obviously, he was a doctor in that photo. It's just like,
that's the last thing
and
that
the
I
Pope's the
considered.
Antichrist and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why is everything a hill to die on? Can't we just enjoy the spectacle of this absurd thing we call politics every once in a while?
Was the old Spies Like Us?
Yeah.
The doctor.
Yeah,
I wish somebody would have used that in the movie.
Anyway, we're trying to figure out how to teach people to cook healthy.
Figuring out how to teach people to cook for themselves and eat good food again.
I'm Katie Welch. I'm the Executive Director of the Teaching Kitchen Collaborative. We're so thrilled to be here today to help all of these medical students who have gathered here have a real teaching kitchen experience like they would at a med school that was using a teaching kitchen to teach more about nutrition.
I'm Dr. Jacqueline Albin. I'm a pediatrician and an internist, and so I've practiced primary care across the lifespan. When you understand the role that food plays in health, you can then empower every patient you touch to get the resources they need to be successful at this.
So this is where the secretary gets to kind of choose his own adventure here. How do we feel about garlic powder?
I like it.
All right, let's go.
We hope today's future physician leaders are inspired that culinary medicine is for them personally. We hope that it teaches them that there are powerful ways to add nutrition into medical education, and also helps them think about reimagining healthcare where we meet our patients in kitchens as well.
Secretary's killing it. Very nice.
Historically, nutrition has been kind of a neglected topic in medical school and really preventative health in general. I really respect the secretary for being willing to have this discussion.
I think speaking to the next generation of physicians on the importance of nutrition education standards is...
Okay, this is sweet. And actually, I think it's correct in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, I'm bought into this idea that most of our, a lot, if not most of our major medical problems are metabolic in nature. It's what people are eating.
Yeah.
And also, I think the amount of times people are on screens and the lack of exercise and the whole combination is just like you have, as they say, incredibly obese people, morbidly obese people that also malnutrition. Like they aren't
keep
getting
staring at me like this.
You're doing fine.
You keep looking at me like you're talking to me like we're in an intervention. I'm losing weight, but I'm putting weight back on. Good weight back on.
You're doing fine. You're okay. But I can remember being a child, and my mother was this way, where she's always on like the healthy thing, and she's going to cook food at
That's
the
what moms
house and
do.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I love the days where it's just dad is like, you want to get pizza? You want to get Guthrie's? Like, yeah, let's get all that stuff. And so what you're up against is like, I like fried chicken fingers. I like pizza. I like hot dogs and hamburgers and all the fast food that's available, and like just all the stuff you can get at the grocery store too. Like how many different types of Oreos do they now have?
But you know that's probably not good for you. You probably don't need to do that all the time.
And as I grew up, I stopped doing that. But like
Not all of us did, Joey.
No, indeed.
Not all of us did.
And so you can like teach doctors like how
Apparently you have
food
to.
is medicine and all this stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like you're up against a food industry that's like, yeah, we got sugar, fat,
Got
and
crack.
salt.
It's
Yeah.
crack, man. It is what it is.
Who was it? The Altria, the cigarette company, bought most of the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So the same people in the 80s who was pumping all the chemicals into cigarettes now
they just
pumping
own the
them
food.
into the food.
Yeah.
And lately it hadn't been doing that great. It's been more portion control than like eating properly healthy. But I mean, like I had a Oreo ice cream sandwich last night. They're freaking
that
great.
sounds delicious.
The Oreo brand ones are freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. They are.
You
a
gotta
little
treat yourself.
But that ice cream won't melt. Still something up with that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got all sorts of stuff in it, but it tastes delicious.
Unlike my grape slushy, who is perfectly
From
healthy.
Sonic. Now that's a picture of health when you stop by Sonic every day.
All I wanted was a grape slushy. That's all I wanted.
I mean, that's just pure sugar right there.
It
man.
is in liquid form.
Oh my God, yeah. Pure sugar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No additives there.
No.
Right. And like a good Five Guys burger.
Man, I had one the other day.
Yeah.
I put bacon and mushrooms on it, Joey.
Oh yeah. So
but it was like
good.
$40, but
And
I
you
didn't
got
care.
the 2 patties, right?
Yeah, but I didn't
Yeah.
care. It was like $40. I didn't care.
Oh no, and it is expensive. It's ridiculous how much a hamburger.
And only about 6 bites in, I was like, I'm stuffed, but oh, so
It's so
satisfying.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good, but that's easy over 1,000 calories.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
mostly fat. That's why it tastes so good.
Delicious.
Right, and also all these folks are like, I do salad. I'm like, yeah, how much dressing you put
Well,
on
Joey, when I put a half gallon of ranch on there,
Oh, I did Caesar salad. Okay,
I do honey mustard.
you
know,
smell
with
like
honey.
fish.
Yeah. Oof.
Ew.
Anchovies.
Actually, Caesar's pretty good.
It is, but too much of the anchovies, it's not.
I don't know. Like, I think Bobby Kennedy and Health and Human Services, like they're singing the right tune.
Sure.
But they're up against trends, especially for the average American. When you get down to stuff that requires like individual responsibility, or at least that heads of households, like the parental units actually following through with that responsibility, it's
How many other preventative classes do you think this med schools offer besides just cooking?
not many.
To your point about going up against the whole industry.
No, and that's what he's trying to fight against is like a lot of your medical schools, it's become very specialized.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we got really good at treating symptoms with pills and medications.
Yep.
Or we'll do a surgery to fix that. And again, this is a lack of responsibility in individual kind of. I've said it before, I'll keep saying it, is a lot of folks don't want to change. They don't want to go in and essentially like they're confessing to a doctor all their health sins. And the doctor goes, okay, now you're forgiven, especially if you follow through with these few healthy habits.
that's not the way
People
it
don't
works
want
at all.
hygiene advice about their health.
Try to hide
What
stuff.
they want is a pill that gives like instant absolution.
Yes.
And I can keep doing the thing that got me to this point in the
Yes.
first place.
You have those available?
They're willing to sell them to you. Especially through the weird insurance system that we have.
Yeah.
Who was talking with someone earlier. They were like, part of Elvis's problem was he didn't recognize that the drugs he was taking was, came in the form of medicine. Like, it's that low education.
Yep.
People just, don't know any better, man. They don't receive these sort of health lessons and definitely don't have them incorporated into their daily habits.
Now, I think there are a lot of folks that have, even if they're not on like the legalizing weed and stuff, there are people a lot of have been enlightened. The light bulb's gone off. But when the doctor gives you the thing, it doesn't necessarily mean it's just good for you.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially with the whole opioid crisis and still feeling the fumes of that and the fallout from that. And I'd imagine it's across the board on all sorts of stuff I'm just not aware of, certain types of medications. And people assume, though, but he's the pro. She's the pro. They're giving me this. They're prescribing me this. It's probably got to be gone.
Yeah, but they're prescribing it to you. But let's be honest, your doctor doesn't really know your personality. They just know your numbers on a chart. At the end of the day, most of them don't know you very well, so they don't know you have addictive personalities.
Yeah.
Mm.
But also, there is, I think you go too far with this health thing. Like, what's that one guy, Brian something, who wants to live forever? He does the longevity stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he takes a ridiculous regimen of like pills, and his food is completely regimented. And he's trying, in fact, for the latest one, tried mainlining DMT.
Right. He's going to live forever.
Just seeing what
Genius.
were the health effects of smoking and mainlining DMT like for longevity? Because they have a way of, I think, measuring telomeres and different longevity markers. And I didn't see the final result. I'm like, I had the same reaction as you. Like, what, you're going to commune with interdimensional demons or beings or something on the DMT? Like,
yeah,
the Clockwork Elves or something like that, man. But you see it with the technologists and like these futurists, like these literally transhumanists.
Yeah.
in the sense of with technology and medicine, we'll live forever. And I think that's where you're going a little too far as well. Like, I want to be the perfect body, and I might not have a perfect soul, but if I get the perfect body, maybe I could perfect that other thing. And I don't know, at a certain point you cross into playing God and you're going to create monsters.
Well, I think it's more they think that their body can be this perfect machine, and they forget that spiritual lubricant. Like the most important part, that lifeblood, is the spiritual component, right?
Right, absolutely. And so, I don't know. On that note, here's a. Is this a TED Talk? If I'm remembering, no, it's not a TED Talk. It's presented by MasterCard, so it must be true.
She's hot.
Yes, she is. That's kind of what caught my attention.
She must be telling the truth.
Pigs.
Her name is Nina Schick.
If she wants it to be.
Yeah, Nina Schick. And she says only two nations truly grasp the stakes: the United States and China. And China declared its ambitions early. As far back as 2017, AI supremacy became national doctrine in China. So this is this beautiful woman's presentation
Good
on
Lord, boys.
What are you talking about?
It's a lady. Have some respect. Let her speak. Don't just be judging her on her look. You haven't even heard her open her mouth.
Brilliant too, obviously.
Do you
Else
know
would
that?
have MasterCard had sponsored her.
There we go.
He's used to hanging out with low T people when he's not in here, man.
I'm just saying she's beautiful.
I'm sure she's beautiful, but I think as a woman,
on
you
the
should be-
inside as well as the
right,
outside.
you should give her the few minutes of show her respect.
By the way, the most vicious Trump insult: she's ugly on the outside and the inside.
It's just like you boys could be a little bit more.
Can't
respectful.
even.
That's all.
He can't even. It just Rosie O'Donnell. What a
Ooh,
pig!
what a pig!
What a pig! It's just like. Anyway,
what a pig!
By the way, Leo wouldn't even be Pope if I hadn't been elected president. They got me, and they're like, "We got to pick an American." It's like this is.
He's not wrong on
He's
that.
not wrong. I think it's hard
so
to argue
funny.
with it. It's
so
I mean, the dude, going back to the odds on the Pope, like he came out of nowhere. It's like, yeah,
nobody had
we need
that.
an American Pope.
Nobody had that on their bingo card.
Anyway, let's listen to the lovely Nina Schick.
Thank
The
you.
nation that achieves AI supremacy will not just lead, it's going to dominate the global balance of power. Only two nations seem to have grasped this so far, this reality. That is the United States and China. Now, China declared its ambitions very, very early. Actually, in 2017, China announced the next generation AI development plan. So it became doctrine, right? Strategy, almost has been for 10 years, that China will become the world's AI superpower by 2030. And 2 years later, in 2019, it announced another strategic doctrine that it would intelligentize the People's Liberation Army, the PLA, by embedding AI across command, logistics, drone, and weapons systems. Now, the US, while kind of leading in private innovation over the past few years, had no strategic doctrine for AI as a tool of sovereignty. In fact, President Biden, whom I've worked with in the past, under his tenure, AI was seen much more as a risk, right? A lot of the debate over the past few years was about AI's existential risk. That changed very dramatically when Donald Trump came into office. The day after he took power, he announced he signed the executive order on American leadership in AI, removing barriers to American leadership in AI. The US AI Action Plan pursues aggressive deregulation, rapid infrastructure build-out, including energy build-out, and promoting the full stack of American AI technology globally as a measure of its influence. So Washington, like Beijing, is starting to see AI as the fundamental bedrock, right, of not only security, but economic prosperity too.
I told Nina she's beautiful on the outside and the inside, and I was like, I like what you're saying. We have to lead. We have to win on the AI race. Though it just seems like that is such a convenient excuse as well.
Right.
And I'm still like, yeah, well, we'll see what happens with it. Because it's very clear now. Like, they're not messing around with this technology. And you got to wonder how much are we even being kept in the dark. Like, I'm now starting to think The whole aliens thing is just a huge distraction.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, and all these scientists keep ended up dead. Now, it was the Daily Mail today saying a 10th scientist around nuclear programs has ended up
missing or dead.
That was this weekend.
Yeah. And it's like, some of these are actually old. Like one guy they claimed like last week was actually dead 3 years ago, and they just found out about it. So it's
some like good tabs on, have they?
Yeah. So is this a news trend, or is it an actual trend going on?
Yeah.
But the U.S. government very clearly around things that can affect national security will not only classify, but will clearly disappear people or ruin people's reputations. Yes. They've done it over and over again in order to protect certain capabilities and certain secrets. So if I'm sitting here in a practical world and I'm like, do I want China having the super intelligence or do I want the United States? I'm going to go with the United States.
The home team to have it.
Do I want China dominating the moon and the orbit of the Earth, or do I want the United States?
That's us. That's us too.
I think I'm going to go with the United States on that one.
Yep.
But I'm also looking at the effects of already what we're feeling with light machine learning and algorithms and these sorts of things. And the average bear is who I worry about, who's easily influenced.
Here's a concern that I have. Like you say, the United States versus China, right? But are we certain it's our governments that are developing this, or is it corporate interests that's developing this? And can we truly trust that corporate greed?
That's a good question, and I think it's both is happening in parallel in many cases. Yeah, there's something about ChatGPT and Sam Altman just gives me the creeps. It's not a rational argument or feeling. It's just like it doesn't feel right when I see what that guy's presenting.
Trust your gut, buddy.
Oh, it's like God gave you instincts for a reason.
Right.
And whereas like Elon does stuff that makes me go, like he has no filter, or maybe that's unwise, sir. But Grok doesn't. I guess the difference is like I felt led on. It's not about political bias or bias stuff. I feel more like the ChatGPT wants to influence and suggest, and through the power of suggestion, lead you down certain paths. Whereas with Grok, it's pretty much what you put in is what you get.
Yeah,
is the feeling I get. And I've tried a little bit of Google's Gemini, and that one's actually pretty straight up. I don't always trust its fact-finding mission.
Have you ever called India directly? Just skipped all those guys and went straight to India.
Just to India direct?
Yeah, just India. Hit the operator and put you in touch with India.
Oh, you're so wonderful, sir. You've written another beautiful essay.
See? Just say it. Skip the middleman.
We're about 6 months away from you just getting shipped over to Indian AI.
Yeah, instead of AI, you just need to call up a sycophantic like Indian guy. It's like, you're so brilliant.
There was the guy or the company a while back, the guy busted. Yeah, they had like 1,000, I hate saying it this way, but they had 1,000 Indian people in the building, and that's how they were running their AI.
Yeah.
It was hysterical.
That's very funny. By the way, speaking of China, and like you think about these future races for space and AI and biotech as well, we didn't include. But it gets back to sometimes basics of like navigation routes and oil flows.
Yes, it does.
China calls U.S. blockade of the Strait of Hormuz dangerous and irresponsible.
Yet we let a boat go through. We let one of their oil tankers go through.
I shouldn't have said that.
How did they say it?
Dangerous and irresponsible.
Yes.
Yeah, a dangerous and irresponsible act that will further inflame tensions in the region. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said Tuesday that the targeted blockade of the vital shipping channel, which began at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday, coupled with an increase in U.S. military deployment, risks undermining an already fragile ceasefire situation. Or something to that effect.
Situation?
Situation. Oh, sir, your accent is so good today, sir. Your China accent so wonderful.
Very good.
Now you're bringing the Korean.
No, it's where I just go back to. I don't know why.
Yeah, no, I can tell the difference. That was very formal of you.
Yeah.
Foreign Ministry spokesman Ku Ji Kun, or something like that, told the Foreign Ministry spokesman told a press conference that only a full ceasefire can help ease the situation, adding that Beijing would make efforts to help restore peace and stability in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah? What are they going to do?
Yeah,
Steal some
it's like all of a sudden China really cares once the oil flows.
We love the peace.
China. which has long backed the regime in Tehran, has a key interest in the strait being reopened, with Beijing being the largest buyer of Iranian crude. The blockade directly cuts off that supply and potentially has a far-reaching impact on the Chinese economy. The U.S. began preventing ships from entering and exiting Iranian ports in the vital waterway on Monday in a bid to force Iran to reopen the strait after peace talks in Islamabad faltered over the weekend. The measure marks a sharp escalation in the conflict despite a pause in hostilities agreed on April the 7th. The spokesman also dismissed reports of China supplying weapons to the Islamic Republic as completely made up, saying China believes that only by achieving a comprehensive ceasefire and ending the war can we fundamentally create conditions for easing the situation in the strait. China urges all parties to abide by the ceasefire arrangements, focus on the general direction of dialogue and peace talks, take practical actions to promote the easing of the regional situation, and restore normal traffic in the strait as soon as possible. Yeah, because we have billions of people here.
Yeah.
It's like we're riding on the back of a tiger, and we stop feeding it, it will eat us. Please, don't do this. Open the flows.
Please.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is a much better route than destroying an entire civilization.
I do too.
Last week.
I did too. It's just I'm impatient. I'm an American. I'm impatient.
Yeah. Well, and gas prices are.
I'm thinking about bringing another ski into the fold, and gas prices are $3.90 something. I mean, summer of fun is getting expensive.
Yes. Anyway,
boat ain't even got out of the shop yet.
How many jet skis you got now?
I just own 2. We're probably going to bring another. I mean, there's a company that we have that has a lot of jet skis, I think.
Company.
Yeah. It's company.
Like company.
Company jet skis. Company boat.
Company.
Yeah.
All right. You're like Dominican monks. Everybody just, nobody owns anything.
No, we own nothing.
Part of the monastery.
We own nothing.
Would be pretty funny if monks had jet skis. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by, like, we should donate some.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously, we should donate some. Like, do a good deed for the day. Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. They are ready to help you folks out if you're looking to buy a place.
Oh, yes.
Could be you're going through a divorce.
Yep.
Need a new spot.
Need a spot.
Divorce sucks, but
still got to have somewhere to live.
It'll sweeten things up a little bit, make your day a little brighter when you work with Alabama Home Mortgage. They can get you the best possible deal. Or it could be, that family's growing, you need a bigger place. Or it could be you're now empty nesters, so you're sitting in like a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom.
Oh,
you don't need all
that space
by any means. Like, and you're getting a little old, cleaning it, paying to have it cleaned, all this stuff. Instead, downsize a little bit. And of course, if you're looking to refinance, maybe to get debt off your back, especially credit card debt, or it could be you're looking to reinvest in your property or reinvest in the family.
Yep.
Alabama Home Mortgage can walk you through all of that. Instead of using the online mortgage calculators or the 1-800-lenders or the flashy mailers that show up like trash in your mailbox.
Yep.
Thank you, Postal Service. Instead, get with the great local folks there at Alabama Home Mortgage. That's Kim and Madeline. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon. Just call them direct at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Y'all hear about all those politicians making money in the stock market?
Yeah, that Nancy Pelosi's making a killing.
Yeah, she is. And so is Coach.
Tommy Tuberville?
Yeah, he and Pelosi are making millions. Turns out old Senator Tuberville's trading ag futures while he's on the ag committee.
Wow, Tommy Tuberville's making a killing in the stock market.
Yep, just like Nancy Pelosi.
It's all just a big game to Coach Tuberville.
In 2024, Tommy Tuberville made millions trading stocks, just in 1 year.
Wonder what else there is.
So Tommy Tuberville is making millions in the stock market, all in the industries he regulates.
Tommy Tuberville's great at making millions for himself.
Now I want to know.
Just how much money did Tommy Tuberville and Nancy Pelosi make for themselves in the stock market?
Why don't we ask him? Let's call Tommy Tuberville. Ask him how much money he made himself in the stock market.
And tell him, for us, it's not a game.
This advertisement is paid for by the Alabama Leadership Fund.
Before you commit to that plumbing repair or upgrade, get a second opinion from Headley Plumbing.
Our estimate could save you thousands. We do it all: residential, commercial, and septic tank service, serving the entire river region. No membership, no contract, just fair, reliable service. Call Headley Plumbing at 285-3667 or visit headleyplumbing.com. In our business, a flush beats a full house.
Headley Metal Buildings has been your source for quality metal buildings in the river region since 2007. Carports up to 24 feet wide, RV covers, storage buildings, even a sturdy metal barn up to 54 feet wide. Your structure can be customized, installed on level ground, and comes with a 20-year warranty. Let Headley Metal Buildings help you find the perfect solution. Financing available. Call 285-3667 for details or find Headley Metal Buildings on Facebook.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man, well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
At Blue Water Broadcasting, we believe great advertising starts with relationships. That's why so many local business owners trust us, not just for radio, but for digital too. If you're already running digital advertising and you're not seeing results, it may be time to explore your option. Our team takes the time to understand your business, then builds custom campaigns using a multi-channel conversion-focused approach. So whether it's digital display, social media, or you need help increasing your online presence, Blue Water Broadcasting can help. Before your next campaign, let's have a conversation. Visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, work for the best in the business.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. Our extended string of warm, dry, storm-free days continues. It feels more like the month of May. Mostly sunny today with a high temperature up to about 88. Tonight's low in the upper 50s. More sunshine Wednesday, Thursday with highs in the upper 80s both days. And I think we could be near 90 by Friday. That would tease a record. And close to record territory on Saturday with 91. Fingers crossed that we'll see some showers and storms by, let's say, late Saturday night. It's possible. We desperately need some rain. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So the Biden DOJ, not shocking at all, quote unquote, withheld evidence and approved aggressive arrest tactics when targeting pro-life defendants, and then slapped them with longer prison sentences than pro-abortion ones, according to an explosive internal review released today, Tuesday. The DOJ revealed the stunning abuses in a nearly 900-page report after examining more than 700,000 records related to the Biden administration's prosecution under the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances, FACE Act. The 1994 law was passed to protect access to houses of worship, religious institutions, abortion clinics, and pregnancy resource centers. But the Biden DOJ was found to have engaged multiple times in biased enforcement of it, while also collaborating with and even seeking to fund pro-abortion groups, which is just not a surprise at all.
It's not, but it's still incredibly disappointing.
Former Attorney General Merrick Garland set up a national task force to pursue cases against pro-lifers the month after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June of 2022. Emails show the task force, led by Civil Division trial attorney Sanjay Patel, worked closely with Planned Parenthood Federation of America, a Feminist Majority Foundation, and National Abortion Federation security team to initiate investigations and monitor pro-life activists, sometimes for years, before requesting arrest warrants and filing charges. In a November 17, 2021 email before the task force was launched, Patel had already praised NAF's security director, Michelle Davidson, to colleagues as an MVP at bringing incidents to my attention, often in real time, which usually result in an investigation prosecution. The task force director was not nearly as chummy with defense counsel for one of the first pro-lifers indicted for illegally blocking access to an abortion clinic after the Dobbs decision, writing in a February 2023 email that he didn't, quote, keep the kind of records the lawyer requested about the total number of prosecutions for vandalisms of pregnancy centers. That was false, the Trump DOJ review found, since he had already forwarded substantially identical information to the NAF. Wow.
Why are we finding out now? Well, I mean, we kind of knew then.
Because it takes a while.
Takes time,
you got to get new people in and you got to review it. Here is, this is now acting Attorney General Todd Blanche talking on Fox News.
I do, and I disagree not because it's just my opinion. I disagree because of the work that we did over the past year at the department, understanding what happened that led to these completely inappropriate results. And prosecutors have a big say in sentencings in the federal system. The judge ultimately imposes sentence, but what we saw is prosecutors arguing for really harsh sentences, inconsistent with what they should have been doing and inconsistent with what they were arguing when it was exactly the opposite. And we saw internal emails, internal correspondence, which is now part of the report, where Department of Justice prosecutors are working hand in hand with NGOs and nonprofits to target and go after pro-life individuals who were not breaking the law. Okay, and I'll tell you what, there's no emails in my inbox from NGOs telling me what to do, and it's disappointing. And look, I hope the American people can see the work that we did over the past year, trying to understand what happened. But once they see it, I think folks will be frustrated and disappointed.
Another case, U.S. versus Zastro. Saw Biden DOJ prosecutors seeking an indirect way to get some more info about religion without directly asking it, leading to a handful of Christian jurors being flagged for peremptory or for-cause strikes from the jury pool because of their faith. Other documents, draft documents from the Biden-era prosecutors, referred to Christian pro-lifers as culty before swapping out a less offensive term so as to appeal to the Catholic magistrate judge who they griped had taken up the case. Unfortunately, we ended up with a very Catholic magistrate on duty this week, and he was very particular about the bond conditions not infringing on their First Amendment rights. Unfortunately. Patel also prodded his team following a Planned Parenthood referral to pursue what looked like a good felony face matter, quote unquote, involving pro-life activist Mark Huck. per October 18, 2021 email on the day that he shoved an employee for the abortion advocacy group who harassed his son. Yeah, I remember this one. More emails the following month point to Patel pushing for the indictment, even as civil division attorneys expressed reservations, and did so again the following year in an August 10th, 2022 email that admitted there were still litigation risks. Hawk, a Catholic father of 7, was arrested in September 2022 by 16 armed FBI agents, some of who were carrying long guns, at his home in rural Pennsylvania and charged with 2 FACE Act-related counts. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania had declined to pursue a summons in order to allow him to self-surrender, but the public backlash caused Patel to place blame on the FBI. The task force director claimed the main reason for the public show of force was in hope of seizing phones. I think the unspoken reason is because the FBI really likes to make arrests, Patel added. The Biden DOJ also liked to seek longer prison sentences against pro-lifers charged with nonviolent FACE Act violations. On average, its prosecutors sought 26.8 months in prison for pro-life defendants, compared with 12.3 months average for pro-abortion ones. Judges also sentenced those pro-lifers at higher rates, 14 months to 3 months. President Trump, on his third day in office, signed pardons for 23 pro-lifers convicted of FACE Act violations under the prior administration, many of whom he said were elderly and should not have been prosecuted. Hawk was acquitted by a federal jury in January 2023 and later reached a settlement with the Biden DOJ. Just another example of, well, some of the forces that are running this nation and what their agenda is. 272-9228. Naj Papa? Dave? Hey, Dave.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for taking my call.
No problem, Dave.
Enjoying your show.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, well, maybe top of the list should be, after hearing Soldier Boy's story, we might ought to change his name from Soldier Boy to something more appropriate, but I'm not sure what it would be. You got to come up with something that's appropriate. But he was very revealing of his lack of courage and whatever. That was funny. Okay.
Hysterical.
So, I enjoy the music that leads in and out as your show fades in and out. Is that all stuff that you've put together, Joey?
No, at this point, I'm mostly using AI, but I mean, sometimes I'll make a thing and then put it in the AI to soup it up. Or I'll just play my acoustic guitar directly into the AI software. I need to get back to actually just recording stuff straight up.
Well, but you still put it together with the help of AI. I like it. I really like it. I mean, and this is a pet peeve of mine, not to do with you at all, but I've shared some of this before, and then I want to get to one thing about yesterday's program, one comment. But when I gave my life to Christ, I got rid of my bongs and rolling papers and porn. This was when pornography was in magazines. I'm an old guy. But I got rid of those, and I got rid of a lot of my music because the groups, their attitude was promoting, condoning drug use and immorality in their lifestyle and in their words. So I struggle when I hear some pretty much Christian or at least conservative talk shows leading in and out with that kind of music. Yeah, I just don't, it seems very incongruent to me. Some of those groups, even the words with the songs that are used are not good. Shooting these veins, little girl, what's your name? Come on. Anyway, but yesterday you had a guest on who was talking about training Saudi pilots. Is that correct?
Yes, and many other things.
Well, one of his comments that stuck out to me, I think you or someone asked him, was it hard to train them? And he said, well, they were excellent hosts, and hospitality was big on their agenda, but he said they put God first and family second, and then service was third. And he said because of that, they'll never reach the level of our military. And I felt sad, and I've recently read some books about Navy SEALs, including a book by Chris Kyle's wife, Taya Kyle. And then I read the book. I had seen the movie American Sniper, but I read the book or listened to it too. And one of the facts in those books that stood out to me is that the divorce rate among Navy SEALs, at least at that time, was 95%.
Absolutely.
Because their whole life was living with these guys. And of course, when you're in combat situations, you bond with those guys and you spend so much time with them. You're closer to them than to your wife, who's back home, and you only see her when you're home for a few months. But I just thought about that fact. He said they'll never, I don't remember, you might remember how he said it, but basically they'll never attain the same level as our military because they put God first and family second and then service. Anyway, that stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm. I hear you loud and clear. And, no, and I think there is a way where you can always have God in your eyes, but I think what he maybe is getting at is the certain practical demands of devout Islam, though that's very foreign to me. But and you're right on the head on, like, hitting it perfectly about the divorce rates and the amount of the strain it puts on families. And you just see that from veterans themselves, guys that served in the SEALs, guys that served in special forces in particular, talking about how few actually lasted in their first marriage, if not several marriages down the road.
Yeah, it's sad, and I hope something can be done to address that, because having a strong family is going to help you be better also in everything you do, regardless of your career. But yeah, that's mostly what I had to say. You guys work on another nickname for Soldier Boy, and I'll listen for it. Okay.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Appreciate you. Got to hit the top of the hour break. We'll be right back.
You may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up, because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
From weddings and concerts to cookouts and construction sites, TT Porta Toilets has been serving Central Alabama for over 30 years. Whether you need standard portable toilets with wash stations or upscale restroom trailers for special events, the Tierce family has the right solution for every occasion. So when you're planning your next big event or project, make it easy on yourself. Call 285-5513 or visit ttportatoilet.com. TT Porta Toilets. Clean, convenient, dependable.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
News, I'm Bob Agnew. In Washington, Lebanon and Israel holding direct diplomatic talks for the first time in decades. The meeting for today in Washington follows more than a month of conflict between Israel and Lebanese terrorist groups. Hezbollah firing missiles, as they often do, from southern Lebanon into Israel. It's something they've been doing almost nonstop in spite of the war in Iran. And officially, the two countries remain in a state of war ever since Israel was founded. Wholesale prices surged last month as the war in Iran drove up the cost of energy. The Labor Department reported today its producer price index measuring inflation before it hits consumers rose by 0.5% from February to March and 4% compared to March of last year. Investors appear happy today on Wall Street with the Dow up 230 points this hour. The Nasdaq up by 369. This is SRN News.
You're not just overweight, you're in survival mode. No pill or crash diet's going to fix that. They don't address why your body is storing fat. At PhD Weight Loss, they treat unwanted weight as a symptom, a signal that your metabolism, hormones, and stress response need attention. Fix that, and the weight comes off naturally. Call PhD Weight Loss, mention Mike G, you'll get 2 weeks free, and they'll pay for your food. Call 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, mention Mike G, or go to myphdweightloss.com.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million citizens carry medical debt while paying for overpriced and complicated health insurance. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is an alternative to health insurance at half the cost. Plus, you can enroll at any time. Stand up to health insurance with a biblical solution. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. It's more than just great prices on lumber. From Trex decking to energy-efficient windows and Tamco shingles, Alabama Wholesale Lumber has it all.
Hi, everybody. Our extended string of warm, dry, storm-free days continues. It feels more like the month of May. Mostly sunny today with a high temperature up to about 88. Tonight's low in the upper 50s. More sunshine Wednesday, Thursday with highs in the upper 80s both days. And I think we could be near 90 by Friday. That would tease a record. And close to record territory on Saturday with 91. Fingers crossed that we'll see some showers and storms by, let's say, late Saturday night. It's possible. We desperately need some rain. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASC Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASC Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
1819 News.
The city of Huntsville is losing a federal agency facility as part of a restructuring plan. The Forest Service from within the U.S. Department of Agriculture will be moving out of the Huntsville area as the entire headquarters gets moved to Salt Lake City, Utah. The restructuring will then proceed, which includes the creation of 15 state directors who will provide oversight to various regions throughout the nation. The regional director who will serve the states of Alabama, Mississippi, Florida, and others will now be located in Auburn, Alabama. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness license plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The Archbishop of the Mobile Diocese is responding to a post from President Trump regarding Pope Leo. Trump posted on Truth Social that the Pope is weak on crime and has a terrible foreign policy that is based out of fear being pushed on people. Now Archbishop Mark Rivatuso is responding by saying it's disheartening to have such words written about the Pope. Rivatuso says Pope Leo speaks from the truth of the gospel and cares for souls. Rivatuso then called on Catholics to pray for the president and all of those in public office to work for a greater peace and justice in this world. A Franklin County woman is facing multiple counts of sex abuse as well as possession of child pornography. Abigail Robert was arrested on April 12th after a family member reported the abuse to authorities. An electronic device belonging to Robert was then seized where the images and videos of abuse were found. Robert now faces 30 counts related to this sex abuse. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Trust Montgomery's glass experts to provide you with fast and convenient service when and where you need it. Find out how affordable independent glass can be. Free estimates on storefronts, shower doors, furniture tops, plate glass window glass, plexiglass, custom beveled mirrors, residential or commercial services. You come to them or Independent Glass will come to you. Call Independent Glass 263-2823, 263-2823, or stop by 2047 Bell Street near the entrance to Maxwell. Independent Glass.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
Hey, listen, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. So I'm looking at a email I just got.
Yeah?
Right after the show began, about 12:21 p.m. It showed up in my inbox.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from the press office, the comms office of United States Senator Katie Britt. And it's been a second since we had Katie on the show.
Yeah,
Should I reach out to
I wish you would. Haven't seen her in a while. And last time you kind of pulled a bait and switch on me. You knew I wasn't going to be here that day.
You're busy.
I will not fall for that again.
Okay, that's fine. Just saying that. I told you, and you're like, well, I got to do this closing and this closing and this thing.
I will change my schedule.
Mm-hmm. But apparently, Katie is teaming up with John Fetterman, Senator Fetterman.
Dude.
U.S. Senators Katie Britt and John Fetterman legislation, the Stop the Scroll Act, which would create a mental health warning label required for users under the age of 18. How about 60 and younger? Because I'm looking at you scroll. And no, in fact, how about 90 and younger? Sometimes I see my grandfather. I'm like, what are you even listening to right now?
Hold on. This is your generation putting it out here. We're simply enjoying it. Now you want to take it away from us?
I'm just saying, like, you could, there's better use of your time. Pop.
Is there, though?
Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace, Joey. Great place to be.
Yeah. Like you're sitting there scrolling through videos and you're getting like, what's this thing?
You get this close from the early bird special when you start talking about Facebook Marketplace now.
I got these folding chairs for $20.
$20, man. Like half off.
Who uses folding chairs?
Honestly, what cracks me up Facebook Marketplace, and I am on a lot, the lingo. People are really rude. Like, they're nice to you, Joey. I want what you got. Okay, if you want $50 for it, I'll give you $5.
Yeah,
and then when you don't reply, they're like, dude, I offered you $5.
I think the only time and last time I used Facebook Marketplace is I I bought some tickets to the Auburn football game.
Good use of Facebook Marketplace right there.
It was when I was a student. Couldn't you get student tickets? Yeah, there's a lottery for when you're underclassmen.
I didn't know that.
And so I was able to buy off of Upper.
Cam
game
years?
she didn't want to go.
Was the years that Cam was there?
Yeah, that was my senior year. Yeah, apparently the Stop the Scroll Act.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Katie and John, Senator Fetterman. It passed the Senate Commerce Committee today. It's bipartisan legislation that would ensure Minors are aware of the potential mental health risks posed by social media usage and are provided access to mental health resources. Why don't we just apply this to everybody? How about 90? Once you get past 90, you can watch whatever you want.
How about, this reminds me of, and I love you, Katie Britt, but this reminds me of Tipper Gore, and we need to put stickers on the albums because that's really going to let everybody know that this album could lead to suicide. I hate that you're putting protection warning labels. Sometimes you got to let idiots be idiots. We need to thin the herd.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I don't need you be my leadership. Go pave the roads, make sure the cops are there. I don't need you for every little thing like this.
Well, here's the statement Senator Britt put out.
Oh boy.
Sure you want to be here that time? Yeah. Every child deserves the chance to live their own personal American dream. But our nation's youth mental health crisis, fueled by the rise in social media, is getting in the way for far too many, said Senator Britt. While Congress needs to do much more to protect the next generation online, I am proud to lead a step in the right direction with Senate Commerce Committee passage of the Stop the Scroll Act. She's been working on this for years. Senator Fetterman and I are following through on the former Surgeon General's call to create a warning label for social media platforms, but we're going further by requiring the warning label to also point users to mental health resources. I'm grateful for his partnership on this issue, which affects children, teens, and families from Alabama to Pennsylvania and every community in between. How many are in between? Is California in between?
Not really between, but if you do the outer loop.
I get the point, though. I understand the sentiment. Equipped with the knowledge of the dangers and empowered with the resources to address it, we believe this is a simple solution that will help parents and kids thrive.
Okay. At the end of the day, what are we going to have? Literally, what am I looking at finished product? When my kid goes to click on a phone, there's going to be one more tab he's got to click through?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the reality, why this is, no harm done kind of thing, really? This is where our focus is at? And we can't come up with something better than that?
The bill would require social media companies to display a label that warns underage users of potential mental health impacts of accessing a respective social media platform. The warning would appear in a pop-up box form upon opening a social media platform. Users under the age of 18 would then need to acknowledge the potential mental health risk in order to proceed to use the platform. Yeah, people do that all the time. You seen like Apple's terms of service?
Thank you. Have you ever read it?
No, man.
Past like 4 or 5 words? Right. And I appreciate what she's doing. This is $10 an hour work, and I'm expecting multi-$100 an hour work out of you. This is $10 an hour.
The warning label could not be hidden or obscured, and its exact language would adhere to warnings expressed by the Surgeon General. Additionally, the label would provide an avenue for users to be connected with available mental health resources.
Yeah, who do they have to buy the label from? Somebody's going to get paid off this. Is it one label that they all got to use and buy from one company?
Or no, it's
or
just,
you can write your own label?
They can create, I'd imagine the apps would have to create their own labels to be compliant, to work with their own app, but you would have to use the exact language they're saying. It's not like a sticker, like a literal sticker.
Might as well be. What's the difference? Might as well be a sticker that was on the album cover.
You know what?
You are
the album cover? Not the words you're using, but the way you behave is the best argument against this. I need to just send this show to Senator Britt.
No, I don't think it's a bad idea, but I just think, come on, this is what you're working on. And then when you said, it's years in the works, that hurt my heart. Dude, just go back to Tipper Gore and say, hey, those stickers you put on the albums that didn't work? We're going to start sticking that on applications now. Okay, good. It's still not going to work.
Do you think warning labels on cigarettes work?
No, look at the ones they do in Europe, where it's awful.
The skull and crossbones?
It's just awful, the photos.
Like pictures of lungs and stuff?
It doesn't work.
Like even a healthy lung's weird to look at.
It doesn't work. And that's why, it's... You can't go against it because then, you're the devil, but it doesn't work.
Well, but this legislation advancing in the Senate comes as last month a jury in the state of New Mexico reached a $375 million verdict finding Meta liable for failing to warn users about the dangers of its platform and failed to protect children from sexual predators. A day later, a California jury found that Meta and Google were liable for causing depression and anxiety. Meta is facing growing accountability with more than 40 states' attorneys general filing lawsuits alleging the company continues to put profits over people.
I wonder, would this be considered a waiver after the children.
Sure. Yeah. Now you know that this might get you anyway, so you can't come back and sue me. But again, how ridiculous. You can sue me over something you could turn off, but you just don't have the ability to turn off? Sorry, it's not my problem.
Well, and this is, by the way, just one piece. Like, I've got a list here from this email from Senator Britt's office. Appreciate y'all. What's up, y'all? Appreciate it. Y'all sending me stuff. Please forgive my almost 60-year-old compatriot here.
Just think we could do more. There's bigger things to be done.
Well, there's other things like Senator Britt joined John, is it Husted? Hust? Husted.
Ousted.
No, it's Husted, I believe.
Husted, Republican from Ohio, and Mark Warner, Democrat from Virginia, and introducing Sammy's Law, which would require social media platforms to permit parents to receive safety notifications through FTC-regulated third-party safety providers, giving them the tools to shield their children from harm. Earlier this year, Senator Britt joined Senators Josh Hawley, you know that guy, Republican from Missouri.
I generally like him.
And Richard Blumenthal. Denang Dick. I love how, again, Trump doesn't forgive any past sins. Like, you didn't go to Vietnam.
Dodger.
You wouldn't be Pope if I hadn't been elected president.
That was my favorite, by the way.
I like his brother better than him. And by the way, that Trump thing on the Pope, when he started, Pope Leo is weak on crime. I'm like, you talking about the Pope or the mayor of Montgomery? What is this?
Okay, so yesterday when you guys were going over it, when it first happened, I did have some raw emotion about it.
Yeah?
But the more I thought about it.
That's hilarious.
It's right. Exactly right. I feel guilty because I fell for it.
No, and you heard the report from 1819 News, Archbishop Rivatuso here in Mobile said, he didn't like it, but then what did he tell Catholics and everybody to do? Pray for the president.
Right. I just
this shouldn't be like this.
It
and
shouldn't
JD
be.
Vance's response to his asked yesterday by Brett Baer is like, I don't think this is a big news thing. Like, there's going to be times where we agree and disagree. Now, JD is clearly covering for his boss because the reason it became a big news thing was because of the big Truth Social post. It wouldn't be that big of a thing. It's like, oh no, the Pope called for peace and the cardinals that don't like your immigration thing. We've known that for a long time, man.
Yep, nothing new there.
The reason it's a news item is because you made that post, which was hilarious, and you posted that image, which again, your excuse, I thought it was me as a doctor, like the Red Cross. Hilarious. So everybody should just pray for everybody. How about that?
White lab coat. Robe.
I mean, I was. Really
people were sharing old artwork of like depicting Jesus at the Sermon on the Mount with like little kids says, "Doctor, pediatrician, help me." Oh, so silly, man. Anyway, earlier this year, Senator Britt joined Josh Hawley and Richard Blumenthal. See, I can do the weave too. In introducing the guidelines for user age verification and responsible dialogue, the GUARD Act. The GUARD Act would ban the use of AI companions by minors, mandate AI chatbots disclose their non-human status, and establish new criminal liability for companies that design or develop chatbots which solicit or induce minors to engage in sexually explicit conduct or to create depictions of such conduct. It also establishes criminal liability for companies that design or develop chatbots which encourage or promote suicide, self-injury, physical violence, or sexual violence. Yeah, I agree with this one 100%. Amen.
Yeah, let's put some more teeth in this.
Senator Britt also joined Senators Hawley and Brian Schatz, Republican from Hawaii, and several of their colleagues from both parties in sending a letter to Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram and so many others, following reports that Meta's AI chatbots were engaging in quote-unquote sensual conversations with children. Meta owes the American people answers, Senator Britt stated, calling the findings sick and twisted. She also co-sponsored the Children and Teens Online Privacy Protection app, COPA. Cabana. And the Kids Online Safety Act, COSA. Cosa Cabana.
Now, see if she'd done it with a catchy tune like that, I probably could have got behind it.
The American voter.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. Can you make it rhyme?
Kids Online Safety and Privacy Act will expand protections for children, hold platforms accountable, and empower parents. She also joined with Senator Schatz and Ted Cruz. How's it going, Ted?
Fine, Ted.
By the way, I think Trump should lock Ted Cruz and Tucker Carlson in a room together.
Let them go at it.
Like invite them to the White House and lock them inside a room.
UFC.
Do we get to watch?
Going to be at the White House.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do we get to watch?
Yeah.
As long as we get to watch, I'm down.
Right. Yeah. Then the only way out is in the octagon. That's the only way out.
That's right. I have no problem with that.
Fight Ted Cruz. I don't believe him. What is this?
I think I'd have to put my money on Ted Cruz, too.
I think
You
I'd
think
go
so?
Tucker.
You go with
I
Tucker?
think Tucker, man.
Something about I don't trust people with bow ties, man.
Also, Tucker's is a bit of an outdoorsman, like knows his way around his property. And I don't know. I trust the guy who
Do you
actually
know how many Boy Scouts I whooped their ass, Joey? It don't matter if they're from outdoors or not. Who
He
gives
just
it?
went from 0 to 100 all of a
Are we
sudden.
giving Ted any points for being from Texas?
Texas, yeah. I'm giving all my points
Yeah,
to Texas.
I don't know. And that one time, Ted Cruz slammed his boots down on the committee dais. That was really, what a man.
Kind of lost a little bit for him that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were saying come and take it was a terrorist extremist. Well, how about my boots say it? You want to come and take it or something to that effect? Like, wow.
If Tucker could last the first minute, he'd beat him. But if Teddy got him the first minute.
Yeah. Once Teddy got his hands on him, it'd be trouble.
But anyway, Senator Britt joined with Schatz, Cruz, Chris Murphy as concerned parents introducing the Kids Off Social Media Act, which would prevent kids under the age of 13 from creating a social media account. Something social media companies already say they enforce, prohibit the use of algorithms on all social media users that are under the age of 17, and require schools to block and filter social media on their Wi-Fi networks if they receive federal funding. Oh, interesting. This bill advanced the Senate Commerce Committee last year and was the first legislative markup in the 119th Congress. So, no, seriously, appreciate Senator Britt's office sending me that. Just good to know what our hometown senator's up to. But, this is actually,
it's not bad.
Here's where and it's like a broken record, but actually, you have a point and she has a point. And the senators in general have a point. This is a very real problem.
Yeah, it is.
A huge problem.
But does this
But
do
then to
anything
your
to
point, it's like, is
really
a
address
label knowing like how all of us have operated with like terms of service stuff. You just click through it.
Yeah, but I mean, on the consumer side, no, but the industry standards and all the penalties for even building anything like that, yeah, by all means, hold them
but
accountable.
to me, 100%. But it should never have. We've been on the internet for too long to just be now going back, going, "Hey, we shouldn't let children look at this. Hey, we shouldn't." We've been
It
in
seems
this,
like there should be some laws
a long
already on
time
the
ago.
books about, yeah.
So I don't mind them, but we're celebrating something that's a no-brainer. Sorry, I expect more.
Well, no, honestly, for the longest time as I've looked at this, the answer to this sort of thing is technical, an innovative technical solution to where you have to get a company, and maybe you can encourage those companies or nudge those companies, but it's going to be a company that comes up with a technical solution that actually solves a lot of these problems. And in fact, it's not the example I want to use, but China's, the way they regulate their social media and their AI
Very
is
strict,
very different, very strict. Chinese TikTok's very different than American TikTok.
Very different. Complete opposite almost.
Yeah. Like they're actually trying to enrich
they're
the spirit
they're
of their
teaching
people.
people.
They're right. And
That's a
just
nice way to
teaching
say
idiocracy.
propaganda.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
That too. Right.
every third video.
Well, enrich their spirit and then remind them it's the Communist Party that helped you
Yes.
do this. Right. You can do whatever you want in life as long as you hail the Chinese Communist Party.
That is not your soul, that's the party soul.
That's
Be responsible.
Be very responsible.
Let's go to James. Hey, James, how are you, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. You know, Joey, every time I decide I'm going to censor me off the radio in an effort to govern my mouth,
Yeah.
then I'm listening to somebody on the radio, and I'm like, oh. So, long ago in a faraway land, when a certain somebody was a school teacher, it's like they move the target every year. You can't have your cell phone with you. You have to leave it in the locker. You can have it in your purse, but it's got to be off. The cell phone policy and thus access to internet whenever you want different every year because of whatever the Board of Education decided and the superintendent decided, because lawyers are going to do this and lawyers are going to do that. So that was what was causing issues there. So now I'm sure it's either one thing or the other. It's the Wild Wild West. They all got them on their bodies, in their purses or in their pockets or whatever.
Yep.
Or they're in the locker, or possibly we've finally figured out that they don't need cell phones on the BOE property at all.
I think that's
Maybe.
right. No, and in Alabama, they did already pass where they can't have their cell phones during the day.
Okay. Well, see, that's where we've reached since I've left the schoolhouse. All right. Now, here's a question I'm sure Eddie's going to embrace, and we need some safeguards. All right. But why can't parents? Why can't parents just parent? All right.
They won't.
Because they're big children too.
Take their kids for walks in the woods. Take them to the beach and walk up and down. Let the water wash over their feet. Why can't parents just be parents? Here's what I'll share with you, and I'm over the line already, so I'm just going to go ahead and jump in the deep end. Years ago, when one of my family members, I'm putting a little cloak on it there for my family member. I'm talking to him on the telephone and talking of the same issue about cell phones. That's my example. And he says they will have a cell phone. And I already said 12-year-olds don't need cell phones. Where are they going to be where parents don't know where they're at? Okay, that's behind the at for you English teachers. I got that. So this is what he said to me. They will have one when it's convenient for me for them to have one.
Right.
And there you have it. But I'm not sure how Eddie and I made it through our preteen, teenage, 20s, 30s. Here I am going to be 63 in just a few weeks.
I think the
and
answer
I still don't have what? A cell phone, and I don't have the internet in this home here because it's not required.
There you go.
Well,
so we ought to be able to govern our children. Parents should be able to do so.
I hear the answer, though, to your question, how did y'all make it this far, is just barely. And
I think we're doing. Are you thriving, Eddie? Are you thriving, Bubba?
Maybe not today, but most days, yes.
He's thriving.
Most days I thrive very well.
Whenever he's gyrating over there and like his little mantra on his video feed.
Well, let me ask you this: here's a misnomer. Many people out there think that the internet and all these chat rooms and social media and all that stuff, we're so close together. Well, here's what I'll tell you. That stuff actually separates us. It doesn't. It brings some, but it's a. Again, there's a word that I'm searching for. I've already used misnomer, but that's not the. But it's just a. It's a fog of. Deception to where it brings us together. It's actually something that keeps us at arm's length more than it brings us together.
A simulacrum of community?
Something like that. I mean, I think it's a faux pas. I think we're misguided when we believe that internet is holding us together.
No, I think we're misguided then in a lot of ways, but you're also hitting a lot of great points. And by the way, you can always go into the deepest end as you want. I'm always wearing floaties.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you were in strong
even if
floaties.
you can't.
Well, I'm looking forward to the day that we're going to talk about the conversation where, and excuse me for going there, where Lucy has a first cousin. Okay? And she may already have first cousins, okay? But you know the first cousins I'm talking about, right, Joey?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No, and my sister-in-law would love to have a sister, too.
No doubt.
Anyway, I'm working on it.
Hey, now I'm encouraged. I am encouraged. I heard you say I'm working on it.
Working it like a prom date.
You guys have a nice afternoon.
You too, brother.
You too, James. Like a prom date.
Yeah, boy.
What in the world? Are you high? Like, what is?
You
You
didn't go to prom either?
No, I went to prom.
Well, okay, boy. I can't believe this. What time did you bring your date home? 9 o'clock?
No. It was like midnight.
Ooh. So you brought her home. Nerd.
I'm not proud of it, actually, what I did in high school.
Neither am I.
I wasn't a complete angel or Boy Scout of it either.
Then look back and laugh at it. You made it through, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
You made it through. But let me go ahead and tell you, you ain't gonna get out alive, so have some fun, brother. Have some fun.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by, thank you for the advice, brought to you by Dylan Rings. And they're at Dylan Rings. They, like, if you turn into a cartoon character, yeah, Bo, again, you know, that's like not even you. Like, who am I even talking to?
That was from something. I was trying to place it. I was like, what is it?
Like, am I in a King of the Hill episode?
That's kind of what I felt like. I'm giving my boy some advice.
By God.
But Dylan Rings is a sponsor of this part of the program. We told you earlier, in fact, you can go to my Facebook page, Dylan Rings Facebook page, check out the bringing a diamond ring to life. Absolutely beautiful. I think you said solitaire ring.
It's a beautiful ring. I know that.
And shining it up, polishing it up after getting, expanding the size of it a little bit. Nothing like seeing that come back and look brand new and look lovely. Just shine and shimmer like the best of them. And of course, they can help you there with custom design work like that, or maybe you do need a bigger ring for that fattening finger. Or it could be you've got a stone that's loose.
Ooh, I've seen some where the actual stone's missing.
Oh, that's
and you don't want to be there.
I'm looking at one right here.
Yeah.
Somebody left behind the other day.
I see that. There's actually one missing.
I'm pretty sure that was picked up in one of those vending machine things.
I think it was too.
But that doesn't look like real turquoise at all. But they're at Dylan Rings. They can also do spa treatments. So maybe there's a favorite piece of jewelry you've been wearing for years, and it looks like it. Like you've been wearing it every day for years.
Right.
It could shine and shimmer like it's brand new again. And, of course, they have a great inventory. High-end jewelry items, everyday items, maybe starter-like stuff for the little niece or daughter in your life or family friend. They can help you across the board.
Okay.
So y'all check them out. Get by Dylan Rings today at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
With spring officially here, Pizza Perfect has sprung a great deal for April. Get a free order of breadsticks or cinnamon sticks with the purchase of any large or medium pizza. That'll make the whole family smile. Pizza Perfect's amazing buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMcampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Hi, everybody. Our extended string of warm, dry, storm-free days continues. It feels more like the month of May. Mostly sunny today with a high temperature up to about 88. Tonight's low in the upper 50s. More sunshine Wednesday, Thursday with highs in the upper 80s both days. And I think we could be near 90 by Friday. That would tease a record. And close to record territory on Saturday with 91. Fingers crossed that we'll see some showers and storms by, let's say, late Saturday night. It's possible. We desperately need some rain. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. That's 334-272-9228. Well, there's a report because, I mean, it must be serious.
Oh?
AOC weighs White House run in 2028. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is quietly laying the groundwork for potential 2028 presidential bid while working to shore up support among skeptical progressives who have increasingly questioned her ideological commitment and political strategy.
Mm-hmm.
This is according to Axios. The New York Democrat, who is also said to be considering a Senate run, I think that's what she actually does, is a Senate run, though she has the national following.
She does, but...
And donor networks probably to do a presidential run. So, I mean, what if you were advising her, Byron, should AOC go to the Senate first, take Schumer's seat, and use that as a platform to run for president, or just strike while the iron's hot in 2028, run for president right now?
Is the iron hot?
That's a good question.
No. It's not going to do her any damage or any problems later on to say she's going to do it and, find her natural avenue in the Senate race.
And there are plenty of people that run young and then, look at Biden. There are plenty of people that run and then come back later and run again.
I mean, most of these guys end up finding a down ballot race or
Yep.
some other avenue or path.
Yeah.
It's, you know, they
Take it
float the balloon, they bring in the hundreds of millions of dollars that they can raise as a presidential candidate, and then they parlay that money into a hell of a war chest for whatever office they seek.
But AOC, who is, whether she runs for president or considering a Senate run, has recently taken a harder line on U.S. policy towards Israel, including opposition to all funding, even for defensive systems, and what allies and observers describe as an attempt to repair strained relationships with the party's left flank. Ocasio-Cortez has faced mounting criticism from some progressive activists who once viewed her as a political heir to independent Bernie Sanders.
Not even close.
But now see her as overly aligned with the establishment Democrats and focused on broader appeal. Privately, according to sources cited by Axios, Ocasio-Cortez has expressed frustration with those critiques, viewing them as counterproductive to the broader progressive movement. One strategist said she has, quote, lamented that the left is not there for her, end quote, and suggested that some critics are just never pleased. A recent outreach has focused in part on the Democratic Socialist of America, a group that played a key role in her early political rise, but later distanced itself over disagreements on Israel policy. The organization withdrew its endorsement of her in 2024, citing what it called a deep betrayal over her positions on Zionism and military aid. In a virtual forum with New York City members last month, Ocasio-Cortez sought to reset that relationship, arguing her record has been mischaracterized and committing to oppose any U.S. funding to Israel, which is strangely also happening on the right in a lot of ways.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Joey.
I don't know. I don't know with AOC. Like, honestly, I think it would be dumb to underestimate her. Real dumb.
I don't think she's
dummy.
ready. She's not ready.
They put her out there, watch her choke.
It's going to be, you know, Pennsylvania, Michigan, one of those.
She'd be worse than Kamala.
Shapiro.
Well, but that's what I was about to say. I'm certain Kamala Harris is done. Like, after the thing with Sharpton.
No, Joey, don't discourage
And just
her.
hearing her again, I'm like, yeah, well, Al,
I
we've
miss her.
known each other a long time now, and, you know. Oh, God. Please,
If that is your best,
well,
just stay home that day.
A survey by Yale Polling found that 58% say Mark Cuban would beat, compared to 55% who said Harris would win. Yeah, more Americans say entrepreneur Mark Cuban would be more likely to win the 2028 presidential election against a Republican than former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Are they taking just primary voters, or is that general election? Like, is that a straight name ID, or are these people putting anything behind the gravitas of who he would be as a candidate?
I think it's going to be, this is primary voters. I haven't looked at the deep methodology of the poll, but no candidate was as dominant as apparently Gavin Newsom. And then 72% of people polled said he would be the most likely to beat a Republican in the general. And then Mark Kelly came in second at 70%. Andy Beshear and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker tied for third at 64%. And former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg was fifth. Younger Democrats between the ages of 18 and 34 favored Harris and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in hypothetical 2028 primary, while older Democrats preferred Newsom and Buttigieg. Why are they still, I guess the young are just dumb.
It's just a name ID thing, man.
Yeah,
That's
really
all they
is.
got.
Right. I haven't thought about them. I forget how little people some people think. Just in
Or even
general.
know.
Or even know. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you saying the world is ignorant?
I'm saying you got to actually try to be ignorant.
Well, there's a lot of people trying.
I don't think it's going to be Harris. I think
No
I can
way,
say that with
man.
certainty.
Yeah.
She's done.
I don't think it's going to be Newsom. I mean, I can pretty much say right now that if any of the other major Democrats let him skate through on just the high-speed rail stuff alone, they've spent $4 or $5 billion, not 1 inch of rail.
It's a scam, man.
Right.
Ain't good one, though.
So you would think that somebody would just blow the barn doors off that.
But if your voters are so dumb, and I hate to say it that way, but most of them are, but if your voters are so dumb and you're going to keep putting the same guy back up there.
Yeah, but they don't think they're dumb. They think they're wholesome and righteous.
This is very true. California leads the way.
Don't they?
I still find it cute how much people think like their vote really puts them in charge.
Joey.
Real self-government.
Joey, don't you doubt the vote.
Like, if you actually, no, voting has its role, but like, if you really want to run things, maybe run for office yourself.
No,
and even then, you might not actually even been running that much. Like,
I'll never understand why people run. I don't care.
Like, if you're a congressman, you got to run every 2 years. You're probably not running your own office.
You can't be.
A few of them are, but most of them.
No, there's no way you can. There's no way you have the eye on
and
everything.
heck, a lot of senators, a few senators are really running their own office, but a lot
Are
of
they just
senators
running
ain't
for
running their own
re-election?
show.
I think your House members actually run their offices more than you give them credit for.
Yeah?
More so than your senators, because senators, it's more big picture, team, the
Okay.
process, and everything. Think about like the House is more like reality, helter skelter, like everything's live all the time. Like, we're just we're doing it
gonna do it.
live, right?
Yes. They seem kind of yutsy.
I mean, that's why you see more of the mistakes from the House members, because it's just damn the torpedoes.
Go
run to the scene. There's 435 or 335, ever how many. Got to stand out in some way.
I just wish a lot of, especially younger folks that are getting into politics, be like, hey, take a master class in politics and watch WrestleMania this weekend.
Not a bad idea.
272-9228. That's the closest analog I can find for you. The closest proxy to what politics is for the most part in terms of the outside game. Anyway, let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Clark.
Hey, Clark.
Hey, Clark.
So you're talking about AOC considering running for president, and Kamala Harris is thinking about it.
Yeah.
And, that brain trust working on these problems gets me to thinking. They're always looking for new debate formats, right?
Oh, sure.
This is Jeopardy. You've got AOC and Kamala Harris, and I don't know, pick another one, Booty Judge. And they're ringing in to answer questions.
I don't know.
Reckon they'd ever ring?
I still think Jeopardy is too highbrow with this American population. Let's bring back Double Dare with Mark Summers.
I just want the question to be, what is a woman? And just let that be the question.
Well, then they just dong.
AOC with an incredible grab of the flag up in the nostrils.
Miss Harris, your thoughts on Iran? Iran is another country, and it's not here. So when we go there, we're somewhere else.
Deep thoughts.
I don't know. Just the notion of Kamala Harris is thinking. I just hear like horrible grinding of gears and rusty machinery when I think about that.
I think, well, and my honest take on her is she's clearly crafty given the way she was vice president of the United States. It takes some ability, but I don't think she is, we'll talk about not being master of your own domain.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, she strikes me as somebody's, and has for a long time, as somebody's puppet.
Well, she was a turtle on a fence post. Clearly, she didn't put herself up there, and she had no clue what to do once she was there.
She's there. She's lost.
Never thought we'd get to another argument for God's existence. A turtle on a fence.
Turtle on a fence post.
Y'all keep doing it. I'm going to think about those two on Jeopardy.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Clark.
I like Double Dare better.
Do you?
Yeah.
What was that game you Nickelodeons used to play?
That was on Nickelodeon. Double Dare
was that the one, the slime game?
Yeah, where they would do like buzzing questions, but then it would be like challenges, like an obstacle course.
Yeah.
What's the one with the Astro Crag? What was that?
Astro Crag.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was Legends of the Hidden Temple was another one.
That might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, where you had to put together things like run through more obstacles and stuff, or obstacles. What did you watch as a kid? Looney Tunes?
Mickey Mouse Club.
Mickey Mouse Club.
Paint dry.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, Bozo and Rich Thomas.
I remember Bozo.
Rich Thomas. No, I'm not calling him Bozo, but Rich Thomas on what's it called? Young World here in Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things to do in the afternoon.
Were you a good skee ball player?
No, that was kind of y'all's generation.
What?
As kids, we took those hardened wooden balls and see how hard we could throw them just at the machine and bust them.
He thinks us. Nah.
No, I just could see you and like with a little fanny pack, and you just run the skee ball ring.
Mm-mm.
Like you just like ruin folks.
I was outside smoking cigarettes.
With his jean jacket.
That's right.
80s hair. Listen to White Snake.
My foot against the wall. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you. Too cool for school.
Y'all heard the new Rat album?
I saw them in Alaska.
Yeah, I'm
greatest
sure you
shows
did.
ever.
I know you, Eddie
Stephen
Vader. I
Pierce,
know
he
you.
poured beer on my head. I thought was greatest thing ever. Yeah.
And Judas Priest really leaned into the BDSM.
Yeah, I did. They caught me off guard.
That caught you off.
Yeah, it caught me off guard a little bit.
Not the name,
No.
Judas Priest, but like I
don't
thought
know-
they were good guys.
I'm only enough to remember a few of the videos. Like,
Turbo Lover. That was the one that finally.
Can you
got
believe they betrayed their fan base?
while living up to their
Shocker.
name.
Anyway, it's part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And they're at Pest Pro, Ashley, and that great team ready to help you out because 'tis the season.
Oh man,
they're
everything's
coming
out
alive.
there. Yep.
You're getting the mosquito treatments already?
Getting mosquitoes treatments taken care of, so we don't have that issue at all. But I did see the, I guess they're called silverfish, and I think they're all coming in from the outside. Yeah, it's like a long La Cucaracha with a 2-prong thing on the backside.
Oh no!
Yeah, and you know, there's something of nightmare. So yeah, when I see things like that, I call them back up and I say, hey, when you guys coming? They always are just like 3 days away, Eddie. We're always like 3 days away. This is working out perfect for me. Perfect.
That is pretty perfect.
Yeah.
So, folks, get on their basic pest control plan. It's a monthly subscription, great way to control costs, and just get things done on a regular basis. Get a regular relationship with them. And, of
Yeah.
course, when time is right for you, mosquito treatments protection,
Oh,
termite
yes,
inspection
man.
protection. Yeah, heck, you get a squirrel or something else like a raccoon.
up in the
something-
attic.
Yeah, they can get rid of that. Provide great wildlife control
Yes.
services. So you'll check them out today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct. 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m. Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Byron had to scoot, but we're pretty much out of time.
Yep.
But we got enough time.
Enough time to talk to Ray?
Ray Bowles, Practical Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Pretty good, man.
We've been at the Biscuit Stadium all day playing around.
Oh, really?
putting rubber mats in the dugouts.
Oh, nice.
So when y'all go to a Biscuits game and you see that nice, beautiful rubber floor,
Yeah.
we did that.
Is that right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Very impressive.
When I say we did that, I use that term loosely. I really had nothing to do with it. David sold it and Frank's installing it, but I went by and checked on. I did do that.
Now, you made sure it was right. That's all that matters.
Exactly. Putting new stair treads on the steps, and they cut out half the project because it's Montgomery, and you know how Montgomery County can be.
You know, I worked there for
We
2
really
summers.
appreciate the project.
I worked at Riverwalk, or now it's called Dabo. It was at the time Riverwalk City. But good time.
Morgan was a biscuit girl one time.
Yeah.
She was the one that would throw out those biscuits at people.
Oh, nice.
And
That's a
every time
fun gig.
She never could. Her arm wasn't strong enough to get it up to where I was sitting. So, yeah, I never got a biscuit.
Well, don't buy the cheap seats, Ray. Spend a little money.
See, I worked in the box office. I could have hooked you up.
I know. I can't help myself about the cheap seats. You know,
Yeah, it'd be like
the banana hammocks on the
Yeah, it happened all the time. Like the third baseman would leave tickets for like 20 different broads, and it's like some of them would get mad seeing each other, so there'd be free tickets. And good fun.
Always.
Yeah. Well, I got I did the banana. What is it called again? Not banana hammocks. The bananas.
The banana hammocks is what I thought
And
they
I
were
got-
called. Yeah.
That's what I call them all the time. Yeah, we got the cheap seats on those two. Standing room only. Angel isn't happy with me on that one.
Bring a folding chair, honey. We're saving money.
That's saving money today, baby.
Absolutely. We're driving all the way to Savannah. We better bring those folding chairs with us. I reckon I'm driving a pickup truck. I'm all about cheap seats. So the problem with expensive seats is like if you go and sit, and I've been able to sit in like the Atlanta Stadium.
Yeah.
In the actual, what do you call it, big booth, and get the free food and all.
Oh,
that.
yeah. That's the way to see
You
it.
don't
The
want to
boxes.
go back. Yeah, the boxes. You don't want to go back.
No, you don't. You want to go down with the commoners. I know.
It ruins the whole experience from that point on.
Pretty much.
No. I'm always doing cheap seats from now on. But if you need a floor and you don't want to spend a ton of money on it, call Chad at 285-8117. I think David just wrecked his truck.
All right, then. 285-8117. They need the business. Fix the truck.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
Appreciate it. Well, we learned a lot today, didn't we?
We had quite a bit in front of us.
Learned a lot about you.
Hell, me.
I'm amazed. Like every day, it's like it's like a
Same
Jack
old
in the
guy.
box. Like
same old guy I always been.
Like wind you up and you pop out and you got a different outfit on. You can button that top button again. now.
See what I mean now, though? But when you do it too
It
much,
is a
you're like
nice
you're a
shirt.
waiter.
It's sea turtle shirt. It's a
Yes,
very
sea turtles.
beachy, festive
It
thing.
is. Yeah, I needed a shirt to wear.
Maybe I need to lighten up because I'm always wearing black. And you like are always festive over there.
I try to be festive. I very try to be.
Anyway, you gonna be here tomorrow?
You bet. What's tomorrow?
Wednesday. Oh, are we having a guest?
I'll
tomorrow?
confirm this afternoon, but yes. Yes, I'll be here.
Yes. Should be quite a show. Y'all stay tuned. Happy hours next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.